Mic check 1 2.
Look,
Mic check.
so yeah, just so you know, I've had to reinstall the operating system, so audio settings don't get carried over in a backup, so that's fun.
There we go.
Um,
Run it back.
all right.
What's
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Mark Summers, Major Linux, and it's time once again for another episode of Tech Talk Thursdays for August 12th, 2021. Of course, this week I'm joined every week. That was weird. I definitely did not say that right. Kev, it's your boy Kev, is in the building.
In the building. How's everybody doing today?
Whoo! And of course, we're joined this week, and every week he damn well pleases.
I love the fact that this is my intro on every episode of this show.
Yep.
Cinziak is in the building.
Good evening, and I just want you to know we're eating out here today.
Hey,
Are we eating?
what are we eating?
Today we're eating shredded chicken.
Oh.
I finally remembered to put the chicken that I've been meaning to cook in. Like I put it in the refrigerator, been waiting for it to thaw, and then I finally remembered to cook it today. Today has been a good day for doing domestic things.
Sin, remember to take the chicken out the freezer.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, y'all have no idea. It's so bad. I am so bad at remembering to just go, right, I took that out so I could eat it. Yep. And then actually doing that at some point.
Yeah, I too am defrosting chicken as we speak.
You know something? God bless and Godspeed to you when that happens. It'll be a glorious time, I am sure.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we just had pig soup.
Mm-hmm. That sounds very good.
It was pretty good. And of course, on the way, she is on the way, joining us from Naptown.
Mm-hmm. Naptown, USA.
Naptown, USA.
See, nah, I don't believe it.
What don't you believe?
Because she said there was a nap there, but now I need to go check my entire house to make sure that a cast iron skillet and a banana isn't missing. Y'all don't be deceived. Don't be deceived. She should be out here.
I should probably do the same. I have gas. I have a gas range here.
You're like, what's that smell? Smell canola oil and platanos. Uncle?
Oh my god, Kev, what's been going on with you this week?
So, had to have on the slightly personal note, had blood work. All my labs are good as always. Still having to fight this damn blood pressure, but it bees what it bees, you know. I can look if I look at a box of salt, my blood pressure goes up. So I'm like, yeah, it's just rough. It's just rough on the sodium levels. Like, God, everything that I love that is delicious has sodium in it. So I'm kind of dealing with that, and trying not to spend all of my money at Dollar Tree. That's been a particular journey of mine.
Can you do that?
That's what I was wondering, but look, I'm not going to ask because we've had issues with me making statements like that before.
That's a hard thing, especially with like adulting stuff when you're thinking like, could I do with another spatula? Do I need more aluminum foil? I don't know. But anyway, so that be the thing, and then also playing some really cool indie games. Like I played Garden Story, and that was fun. And I haven't played like Lawnmower Simulator yet, but Dodgeball Academia, I gotta admit that was actually really fun because it's giving me like a indie version of like Paper Mario, which is great because I loved 1,000 Year Door for the 5 seconds that I played it, and it kind of reminds me of that, but with Dodgeball, and it is like a little bit of that, but with some like Tron like elements to it. So it's really a fun game. I've been enjoying that. What else have I been playing? A lot of Pokemon Unite. Oh god, a lot of Pokemon Unite. Like I take back everything I said about the Pokemon MOBA. I take everything back. That game is fun on the bun, and I have been enjoying it. Shout out to my Pikachu mains.
For a free game, I haven't even touched my Switch in like 2 weeks.
Like, I definitely guarantee you. I definitely say you should try it. At least dabble.
Okay.
You know something? Honestly, Major's too busy playing not Major, but playing Apex Legends without us is the thing.
Again, as I've mentioned before, I'm not sure if you've paid attention to chat long enough to see me explain this. I play around after I finish a chapter of Yakuza because those chapters are now becoming smaller and smaller as I get closer to the end.
Okay.
That's all that is. Look, if y'all want to play some Apex, we can play some Apex.
Okay, what about Dead by Daylight though?
No. Just no.
Like
y'all, I'm trying out of here. I'm trying. I just want you to recognize that.
You can try all you want.
I'm talking to chat about this point. About this.
You can try all you want. It's not happening.
Right.
It's not happening.
I've been doing the Back for Blood beta.
That is
I didn't talk about
open beta now, right?
Yeah, it's an open beta now. It was a closed beta before, but I got into the closed beta and I had beta keys, which I couldn't even give to nobody because I was like, anybody want beta keys? Hello? Beta key? No, nobody? Oh.
I mean, okay. If you wanted to try at night, I could have.
I probably should have just reached out to the peeps and be like, "Hey, yo, you beta keys?"
Like, yeah, I mean, I don't know.
But
my Wednesdays are free now, so like,
yeah,
Wednesday game nights are free again. I finished Star Wars Squadrons yesterday, so.
Oh, cool. So yeah, I've tried that, and that was actually very fun because I've kind of played like the first two Left 4 Dead's a bit. And Back 4 Blood's actually pretty fun. It's got a nice little card system where each run you get new card. Each levels you get, like each section of an act you get like a card from your deck, and that card augments like, gives you more. You can pick up more ammo. You can have more stamina. You have more health these rounds, and such. So that stuff's pretty cool. And I also like the fact that you can pick different characters instead of having the same 4 characters. You can have different characters. You can be Evangelo, Walker, Mom, Harrison. I think it's Harrison. I don't know I forgot what the dude's name. But anyway, you can pick different characters and they have different perks and abilities. And I like that too.
Is there a difference between the characters, or I mean, it's just so you can tell who is who?
Yeah, you can definitely tell who's who. You can definitely tell who's who. And when you miss and shoot somebody, which that does happen a lot, the person does care, tell you what happened. They have little interactions. Be like, Mom, stop shooting me. I'm sorry, dear. I didn't know you ran in front of my bullets. Like something like that. So, instead of like zombies is ridden. So it's a good game. It's a good game. There are some possible issues that might come up with some of the microtransactions that might be a little problematic, but if the game holds sway, it's gonna be a good time. Plus, day one on Game Pass. So yeah.
So it may not even matter. Shit.
Like I wouldn't definitely invest money, but I would be like, if you have Game Pass,
I would play Back 4 Blood before I would play Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, and 4 players. So
I've played the 2 Left 4 Deads before,
and
let's say they were entertaining.
Great. It's definitely give you the moments of like, holy shit, where are these zombies coming from? So I recommend. I think that's about it.
Sid. See, you've been doing a bit of grinding. On that there Final Fantasy X.
Yeah.
Turtles with butcher knives for what is
they're fish people.
Mm-hmm.
Like Tonberries are fish people.
Yeah, fish people. Like fish people.
So the last couple of
Berries.
I've played through a lot of Final Fantasy X, but I played through it when I was back in college. So decided to boot that up because I wanted to like redo that, and it has like drawn a lot of people into like watching the game. But the other thing is, I've gotten to a point where I want to do the extra stuff now because I have like the patience for it, and I can like strategize about how to figure stuff out and all this other stuff. And also, because guides exist. So
yeah.
Ruin, we might not get to those lightning strikes. I might just be like, listen, I'm gonna take whatever traits make up your Onion Knight and like put it on another weapon and call it a day. We got the Onion Knight, we got it half unlocked. But I did find some things like I could go back to like certain places and there are consequences for people that we talked to earlier in the game. Because that's a thing. We also ran into the like dark versions of the Aeons because you become an enemy of the church, and so these people come after you with these huge summoned creatures to attack you, and you can fight them and all this. That's been fun.
So pissing everybody off now.
Having the white mage healing, buffing summoner with the staff be the strongest person on the team has been a trip. When I say the strongest person on the team, I mean they only do 9s for damage. They have more than 100 in almost every stat except for one. And the second strongest person behind them only has like 102 stats.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of their summons are like beyond broken at this point. It's gross.
Gross. I want to take time to say the way Anima like woke up, brushed all 160 of its teeth, and then chose violence. Like absolutely kiboshing the Magus sisters.
Yes, that clip.
Like I was like, Jesus is my portion. I was like, wow.
I mean, the way that see, Kevin, you want to know what the disturbing thing is? That is the least amount of damage that Anima has done.
I know, but
because
still,
there are all these small, like Final Fantasy X is a game of secrets for things, and one of them is the stronger unit is, the stronger everything she summons is. So I took Yuna and just like took her on a tour around the grid and had her pick up like all the like strength and melee and health things. And now her Aeons have like 30,000 health and some change. They have like 255 strength for no reason. It's gross. It's gross. So against like a normal enemy, even some of the mini boss enemies, Anima just does like a smooth 900 something thousand damage for no reason. And I'm like, there's no reason for this. It's offensive. And now like we have everybody with auto haste too, so now they get extra turns. And we fought Dark Ifrit and Dark Valfor, which you have one of those fights you have to have because Arn has like a special overdrive and you can't get it unless you go back to the first island that you went to. And when you walk up there, you just like Valfor, sick of him, and Valfor just goes, respectfully, if you fuck around, I will just end your entire team. So don't do it. But I am very hesitant to do these lightning strike things because that requires like your full alertness and attention and like 15 to 18 minutes worth of time of just dodging straight up lightning in the middle of the Thunder Plains.
Yep.
Is there a story reason for why Titus does that?
There is not.
Oh,
but love the game.
Like he's the one. Like he's the one who appears on the map when you're doing it or whatever. Because like he's always the representation of your characters whenever you're running around on the world map or whatnot. But yeah, we're not looking forward to that. But like, I playing this game on stream has been a very interesting thing for me because it's encouraged me to like poke around and do things
Mhm.
that I have not done. I'm like at the point in the game where I'm fighting bosses I haven't fought and going to places in the world that I haven't gone because people are
Mhm.
just, I'm just like, what's this? And when you're on stream and doing things like that, exploring all the extra stuff is fun for people to watch. And
Right.
so I don't think Takal is here yet, but he was just like, I'm ready for you to do these Dark Aeon fights. I want to see like you like learn what you need to learn in order to conquer them. And there's something about that now has me out here doing like the most and some extras and kind of here for it.
Yeah, because that's what's one thing I've always noticed. Like people like to see the machinations of it, the process. Doesn't matter how long the process is. They just like to see what the process looks like, and many times I find myself like, I think I think this would be kind of boring to watch, but then your community being like, yo, do more of it, do
Like
more of that thing.
like these people show up hype and be like, wait, what you mean you're not doing it today? We wanted you to do it today. Why aren't you
Yeah,
doing that today? And you're just like, wait, what?
I got time. I got food. I got my food. I got my water. I got my snacks. Let's go. Like I'm here for these hours. Let's go. you
Do you
know?
think it's just that they want to see you suffer?
Well, no, actually, in a lot of cases, they like seeing me be over prepared for things. So
Mhm.
like they'll just be over here like, and, I will tell them, hey, y'all. So I may have done a little bit of grinding off stream, which is another thing. Final Fantasy X has been like playing this for stream and being like, oh, well, there's a part that I need to do, but it's really grindy. So I don't want to like make people have to suffer through watching that. Has
Mhm.
also had me playing that particular video game offline,
Mhm.
in preparation for things, but it's also like I'm just gaming offline and having fun and grinding stuff, and then I get to come back and report on. Y'all, I may have decided to be a little bit ridiculous today. So Yuna has max HP and magic points now. Um, she has covered 3/4 of the entire sphere grid. Like she's touched almost every point on it. And like it's just we're just being actually disgusting and filthy out here and stuff. And then there's like, okay, well, show us what you mean by broken and filthy and disgusting. And then we go and we fight things. We're just like, oh, okay, I need you to fight all the boss monsters now. We want to see all the extra content now.
Mhm.
Especially because as the rule for Final Fantasy games, we got the airship. That means we have to go back to everywhere and fight everything that's ever existed. And Final Fantasy has that unique way when you figure out how to like grind those extra levels of making you feel like super powerful. And being like, I remember when I was terrified of seeing you and I just knew I was going to die fighting you because you were like had darkness, confusion, stone, and I only had like 500 health. And now look at you, have like
Mhm.
max health, and if I even like breathe in your direction, you're gonna die.
Mhm.
It's very satisfying.
Then we showed up to the boss fight. This is my sword. This-
Mhm.
Yep. So that's a thing. Other things that have
Mhm.
happened this week. Went to visit a friend for the weekend for my birthday, and on the process of that, like I told y'all, not this past Thursday, but the Thursday before we took our break. I was gonna get an iPhone 12 mini. We got it right here.
Hey.
Hey. So how's it going?
So we got the mini. They did it. They had um, a couple of colors, but the Metro that I went to didn't have the red one, so we just got the normal black one. Then they were just like, "Hey, we have a plan that's like $5 cheaper for like more data if you want it." And I'm like, "You know what? Sure." Then there was like, "But do you want insurance for your phone? That's an extra $10." And I'm like, I'm not trying to pay more money for y'all per month. Like,
Mm-mm.
it's one of those. Y'all said $5 less. We're sticking to $5 less. If I just drop the phone, it's just in the hands of the Lord.
I
Okay.
mean, sure, but I also implore you to At least put Apple Care on it or something, dog. Look, Apple Care's what, $5 a month? Like, you can take it
I
to the
find
app. You
like,
can get the Apple
listen, I'm
support.
already
They will
side-eyeing
replace.
Apple for paying that one extra dollar a month that I got to get that extra 50 gigs of storage on iCloud. So I've done my good deed for the day.
I mean,
You'd be like, I don't know about that
look,
now.
I'm gonna tell you something. I put the Apple Care on my iPad. Like within a week of me owning it, I accidentally dropped water on it. Well, I dropped water on my backpack, and the water seeped in, got into the iPad. Would have cost me $250 to get that screen replaced or the whole thing replaced. Or no, because it was water damage. I'd have had to replace the whole ass iPad. Cost me $50, and walked out with a brand new iPad. Like I got one from Verizon. Water damaged it, and then walked out of the Apple store with a new one from Apple.
I'm just saying. I'm just
saying. Screen repairs are expensive.
So we did the things. Literally both of the things that I'm talking about came in today. I ordered them this weekend after I went to go visit a friend. So we ordered a little red case here. It's a little unusual, but it goes with the general aesthetic that I have here. And the other thing is this screen protector, but it's a privacy screen. So when you like hit a certain angle, you can't see things on the screen. Like the words disappear, or they just become like difficult, if not impossible to read.
Like what you would see at like a bank or any other place where there's sensitive data. You just be walking by, just what's going on over here?
Love to see it, or not to see it.
The screen came from Flow Lab. I decided to register over there because I wanted the lifetime warranty on the screen protector because it was free. And then they have a lifetime warranty on this case. So, like, hey, if something happens to this case, we'll replace the case because it's free.
With the iPhone 12 line, it does have that ceramic shield. It's marketing as marketing could be. But they are saying that it is like shatter resistant. So
I'm not trying to find out.
Yeah, let's not find out. But I don't know. It's just, for me, it's that peace of mind, especially like for me, like over time spending over $1,000. It's like, yep, you know what? Nah, let's go and put some protection on this because look, part of my life is on this. I can't be without this. I'm sorry, I just can't.
Now, I will say some things. The camera was unusual at first because the camera on the iPhone 6S, like just, captures like a lot of ambient light and things, but it leaves things kind of washed out. The new iPhone camera, or at least the one on this iPhone 12 mini, seems to have better balance across the board for all the light that comes in. So I'm guessing they added some extra things to like balance all that out. Well, like even the HDR on the 6S is different from the one on the 12. So that was a thing. And I'm just like, okay. The optical zoom and kind of like how that works was very interesting. That was interesting. Like seeing, like putting the phone out and then it being like, hey, do you want to like look like there's a drone flying in front of you? And I'm just like, how did you even get all the way out here with this zoom? I'm holding you literally at arm's length, but okay, sure, why not? So that was the thing. We also have the missing home button. The weirdest thing for me was trying to find the shortcut menu that has things like the do not disturb, the Wi-Fi, the cellular data, the airplane mode, and all this other stuff. And my friend's like, yeah, it's just at the top right corner now instead of at the bottom of the screen. And I'm like, why would y'all put this up there? That's so weird, but okay. That's fine.
It's
also
a little bit easier because like with that little notch, it's like, okay, the left notch is for the notifications, the right notch is for control center.
So that's been fun. It doesn't. I thought it would take more time to get used to than it did. It was not that difficult to transition because I'm like, okay, it's physically not there. That's fine. And then 5G has been Child, I don't know. I spend most of my time on Wi-Fi as it is. It's
Yeah,
just one of those things. Like
it's not great.
it's just one of those things. Like it's there, I suppose. The other thing is, my mom got me one of those key chargers for Christmas last year, but I couldn't use it for the iPhone 6s because it doesn't do all of that. But the iPhone 12 does. Boy, does it run hot sometimes. And I'm like, then what did y'all make this for? Or like, did you really make this to be it?
And it's
Did you
also
make
not
this
that fast.
Did you make this intentionally to be a hazard? Because I need to understand. Also, can we talk about whatever this charger is to the like it's this whatever this new Hyperloop charger is that's what I'm calling it. Whatever this Hyperloop charger is to lightning cable. And I'm like, how are y'all supposed to plug this into a wall so anybody can charge it? And they're just like, good luck with that. Because they decided not to include that in any of this packaging. And I'm like,
right.
Mm-hmm.
you need to tell. They were just like, we wanted to cut down on packaging and our carbon footprint. Okay, so here's how you decided to cut down on your carbon footprint. You have packaging that you put the phone in that doesn't have the charger, and now you have other packaging that you have to put the specific charger in for me to buy separately. That's how you wanted to reduce your carbon footprint. I need you to make this make
basically reduced it in one and then doubled up on the packaging.
But
and the reason
did you
the
not
reason
keep
why
the charger for your 6 from your 6?
Oh, I absolutely did. It's right here.
Okay.
It's right. It's right there. It's right there. So like I have that, and they're just like, you can charge this with the lightning cable. What did you make the other cable for? If I could just charge it with a lightning cable. Oh.
Well, it's the same lightning port. What the new cable is supposed to do is charge it faster than the one you currently have. But yeah, like
you have to be able to plug it into things.
Yes, I want to say that we covered that part.
Yeah,
it's like they assumed that everybody who was buying this phone would have had lightning cables or USB-C chargers anywhere. And I was like, not like, and I want to say, I point out, like, not everybody is me. I have every one.
Right.
Of them. I'm good.
I happen to have one of those.
Right.
Like the desk that I got has a little like a little kind of bucket that you can charge things in, and one of them has like a cable that fits that USB-C thing, but it's also like, but again, why did you make this without a charger to plug this into? If I didn't have a charger, if I decided to just take the whole phone and like go, we're just gonna start completely over with a clean slate, I would have been right out of pocket. See, also, then when I bought my first 3DS, like before they stopped making them, I got this like Cosmic one and all this other stuff. My friend was just like, I happen to have like an old charger from an older system that goes with this one because they stopped selling chargers with these things. I need y'all to stop doing this thing where you stop selling chargers with stuff.
Nintendo did not give a reason for why they did that. That was so dumb.
Nintendo just looked at you like how. Like Nintendo really just looked at us and went, "What you mean you don't have a Nintendo device that would have the charger over here?"
You either had to have the friend at GameStop or hope that the GameStop employees were nice enough to work out a situation.
Look,
you can keep the charger for your old 3DS if you were trading them in.
Yeah. Or if if this is like your first, they underestimate the fact that if this is your first whatever, hey, before you buy this, go get this, because this ain't gonna have this.
It's a thing where I wonder if Apple really just lives in this bubble where they figure anybody who buys an iPhone would have a MacBook or something with a USB-C port.
Right.
And you just plug it into that. You'll be fine. If you need other chargers, you buy another charger. It'll be fine. You're okay. You have things like, well, what about first-time iPhone buyers? Like that.
Right.
That's it. Or someone who's upgrading from an old one to a new one who may want to take advantage of this fast charging that can't do that. And I think it was another company around that time where you can order the phone from them. And they were also doing the chargerless packaging. But you could say, hey, no, I want the charger. And they included the brick for free. Like it wasn't a thing. Like my wife actually fell into that same issue. Where it's like, sure, I've got charging bricks for days, but she didn't. and she didn't know what to do when her 12 came in.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, my Pixel 4a also showed up that day, which had the USB-C charging brick.
It
So
did.
it's like, hey, you can have this one. I've got plenty upstairs because I didn't feel like going upstairs to go find one. It's like, here's one in my hand right now. Have it. And like, I don't even know if she still uses it. I doubt it. I want to say she's probably going back to her old chargers. And for her, like, having that fast charging doesn't matter.
Right.
Actually, do I even use any of the fast charge? I don't even think I use any of the fast charging stuff. Like,
Oh,
I might. I think the charger here at my couch is one of the fast charging bricks.
Yeah, I like the fast charging. I have the fast charging in the on my desk, the living room, and in the car, and in the family
I mean,
vehicle.
and even when talking about fast charging, Apple is still like the slowest out of all of them. Still,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
faster than
Google.
wireless charging, but it's still like slow compared to a lot of the Android devices.
Like Google
it
is
is.
crazy fast.
So I think that's mostly it. Also, I have reached that weird time in my life where where I was just like, you know something, I'm going to let the phone do day mode and night mode on here. You know, like kind of like use the daytime to determine whether the phone is in light or dark mode at this moment. And I'm like, I don't hate light mode right now. I honestly don't know what's happening to me, and I'm concerned.
I am
Yeah,
too. I'm too.
yeah, I'm too, because I'm like dark mode the everything.
Yeah.
Like everything the dark mode. It is so much better on my eyeballs. Like it is so much better on my eyeballs having dark mode everything, and not having this like white shiny sheen right here. Like figured out how to do dark mode for Chrome. That was great. Then figured out how to do dark mode for YouTube channel analytics, and that saved my eyeballs a good bit. I'm like, yes, everything dark mode,
Does Lyft not have a
everything
dark
dark mode.
mode? Hold on. Do I even have Lyft installed on this phone? It's not like I'm going anywhere. Actually, wait, hold on. I just spelled it wrong. Yeah, I do not have Lyft installed on this phone. I mean, why would I? I'm not going anywhere.
No.
So all in all, you happy with the upgrade?
I think that's mostly about it. Then, the other stuff that I have to mention, I will save for the end of the show, where you go, "Hey, what are you doing next week?" Because that's one of those things.
Awesome.
But yeah,
Let's see. Not much here. I finished Star Wars Squadrons yesterday, so finally, after almost 2 months of saying, "Hey, I'm gonna finish the Star Wars game," I finally did it, so it's done. We're good. Not really a winner and a loser. Like the Empire went one way and the Rebellion went the other, and it's like, okay, well, I guess nobody really won or lost in this scenario.
They just kind of kept doing their own little things. Like,
Pretty,
all right.
pretty much. I was able to get the before all of that, I was able to get the computer reinstalled. So far so good, no issues. Yakuza 0 played relatively well. It's still I feel like that game is a part of the Yakuza, and what like that game is like, fuck your audio settings. We're the boss here. We're going to play out of what fucking speaker we want to play out of.
Right.
Fuck your feelings. Fuck your Windows settings. This is how it's going to be. So, like, having to put a game, like like the streaming game where there is barely any audio.
Yep. The Tojo clan pretty much just said, we control your settings now.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
no other game has given me this much issue.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, still playing through that. Still, I think I got like 2 or 3 more chapters left to go on that. Still trying to figure out like how 2 characters, including the main character in this game, have not died. And the fact that the other character who does not die still wants to try to whoop my ass, and I've whooped his ass like 4 different occasions, including a sewer fight where this motherfucker tried to attack me with a large fucking pipe on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Like, I whooped your ass. At that point, you just said, you know what? No, I'm done here. You don't die. Obviously, I don't either. Maybe we should just not deal with each other. Just walk away.
Are you talking about Mijima?
Who?
The dude with the eye patch.
Oh, Majima? No, not Majima.
No. Oh, okay.
No, I'm talking about Kuze.
Oh, okay.
You fight that motherfucker so many times in that damn game, and it's like he does not die.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I fought him for the last time Monday, so hopefully I don't have to ever see him again. Let's see here. What else is going on? I don't know. It's not much. Oh, wait. Gas Grill came in. Did I ever talk about how the fact that I burnt my arm the other week?
You did.
You did.
I don't know. I don't think you did. I don't know if you did that on the show though.
Okay, so yes, a couple of weeks ago, I was cooking on my charcoal grill and put in too much charcoal, too much lighter fluid. Fireball shoots out, kind of engulfs my right arm. I said no more. I don't want to do this. So my parents surprised me last week with a propane grill.
Mm-hmm.
So I spent last weekend assembling it, tested it out by burning some hot dogs, and then Sunday had the family come over and we had a cookout for one, just to see if I can actually cook with that gas grill, and also to thank my family, my parents, for helping me out with that. So I'm really excited about that. Everything turned out so delicious, so delicious. Yes, that's right. I did tweet out the Hank Hill propane and propane accessories after I burnt my arm. I said, "Yep, not charcoal. Fuck charcoal.
Mm-hmm.
We're a propane man. This is a propane house."
Major said, "Taste the meat, not the heat."
Yep.
Uh,
I mean, given the fact that the food that I did cook on that charcoal grill actually did taste pretty good too.
Oh yeah.
It does taste really good, but also it's like, do I want to have that flavor and exchange it for my life? It's like, nah, I'm okay. I'm all right. I'm all right here. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Nothing else. Still working. Still going into the office. Really bummed about that.
Oh.
Trying to help some people, you know, whether they show up to the show or not, with their amazing opportunities, which makes me really excited because it's more people doing Linux work. But yeah, that's it for me. So yes, last week you may have noticed that we did not do a show. We had a small little meeting. We wanted to talk about some things. For those who don't know, we are coming up on a year of doing this show.
Yeah, we are.
A fucking year.
Right.
Child, why would y'all put up with me that long?
Lord, longer than many relationships I've had.
So yeah, we talked about some things. We're trying to introduce some new stuff here. I know, shit, and I have my iPad way over there where I wrote those notes down. I know one of the things we've been talking about, trying to do special shows. Trying to do deep dives into topics that, you know, we get there, like we want to get into, but we realize that, I mean, granted, we can sit here all day. We know not everybody wants to, So trying to dedicate special shows to talk about those topics. I know every time I mention Cyberpunk, just like now, Tycho's going to show up and is going to just demand we talk about Cyberpunk or have him on the show to talk about Cyberpunk. I know today we're going to get to a point where we start talking about, our favorite company, and how they are just being shitty to people like us, creators of color, marginalized communities, and, what it would take to actually finally get off this platform. So we want to try to have more conversations about that, have more in-depth conversations. So we're trying to look at how to do that stuff, trying to plan that out. We also want to do interviews. There was try to talk to a lot of people out here in the community that don't get the spotlight that they absolutely deserve. Wow, a clip already about me talking about a whole year? Oh,
Yep.
that was quick. But yeah, like talk to people in the industry, a lot of the marginalized folks in the community who are in the industry who don't get the recognition they deserve, the flowers that they deserve. So yeah, we got some things in the we have some things on the burners in the crock pot, stewing them up. Definitely, if you have any ideas about things that we would like to see extended shows about, people that you would like to see on the show, which I'm pretty sure Tycho is like quickly writing his own name on a piece of paper to slide it in under the door. But yeah, like if you have any ideas of topics you want to see covered in depth, if you want to see these interviews, who would you like to have interviewed? If she ever comes back, I would like to interview Anka. First and foremost, like we talk about this show being live for a year, like it's actually older than that. Like it started with Anka and I, kind of doing it for that place over there. The place off in the shadows that we don't go.
Yep.
I don't think we can if we tried anymore, but So yeah, please let us know. Definitely hit me up on Twitter. You tweet at me directly. You can send a DM. You can email me, Marcus@majorshouse.com. You can email us at ttt@majorshouse.com. You can put it in. You can hop in the Discord. Put your suggestions there. Actually, I could create a channel for that too. Smashcast? What is Smashcast? I feel like I've heard of that. Anybody know what Smashcast is?
Smash kind of reminds me of Smosh.
Is that what that is?
Smashcast.
Yeah. We need some. It's what became of Hitbox. Wow, man, Hitbox. That takes me back.
Every time I think about Hitbox, that's where everybody who got banned from Twitch, who were problematic and got banned from Twitch, they went to Hitbox.
Now they go to YouTube.
Now go to YouTube now, yeah.
So yeah, that's what we got here. That's what we got going on here. So definitely, if you have any suggestions, please let me know. Let us know. See if we can make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
With all that under the way, with all that housekeeping out of the way, it's time for some tech and some gaming news. Of course, Apple's in the spotlight. Yeah, Apple's in the spotlight again.
Yeah.
Twitter's in it, Google's in it, and of course, the one, the only, Twitch.tv.
Yeah, Twitch ain't never left. Twitch just has residence. It takes its mail there. It gets its mail. it has room for rent. It's lived here. It's lived here.
So, as Anant says, let's go. Let's get into it. First up this evening, so this news kind of broke last week, but of course more news has been coming out since then. Apple plans to scan users' iCloud photo libraries against a database of child sex abuse material to look for matches in children's messages for explicit content. That's come under fire from privacy whistleblower Edward Snowden and the Electronic Frontier Foundation.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, so what Apple is trying to do here is that they're doing a three-prong approach. One of it being, hey, we're going to compare, so on device, they're going to compare images with hashes of child pornographic material. If they detect it, they're going to blur it out and this only happens on a child's device, by the way. They will blur it for the child and say, are you sure you want to see this? If the child continues through, they will show it, but it will also notify the parents that, hey, your child has viewed this image. And if a child tries to send some, it'll do the same thing of, hey, do you want to send this image? If a child continues with it, the message will go, but it will also notify the parent that the child sent the message. On iCloud, they will do the same comparison saying, hey, this matches a hash. A person will then verify that the image is the same as a pornographic image, and then they will let the authorities know. They do not. They're saying that they will not look at your entire iCloud photo library, and this is only for users who actively upload their photos to iCloud. This does not affect people who don't do that, so they don't have to worry about Apple going through photos. And then there is a Siri, they're doing some protections with Siri and search. The EFF and Edward Snowden and a lot of other privacy advocates are coming out and saying, hey, this is a very slippery slope, because sure, we all want to see child pornography and child endangerment come to an end, but this same method could be used by oppressive governments to start quashing activists and political dissidents.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing that they're trying to say, hey, if you, it's that thing of hey, if you create a back door for this one specific purpose, there's no stopping anybody else from using the back door because the back door exists.
Right.
It's the same thing with Apple. I mean, it's what Apple was trying to argue back in 2015 when they would not help the FBI get into the iPhone of the San Bernardino killer.
Right.
So it in a way, the intentions are noble, but it's that thing too. It's Apple, y'all made the case to not create a back door, but you're creating a back door.
Yeah.
Of course, Apple has also come out. They've released an FAQ, kind of trying to calm down a lot of the rhetoric that's been going on. Pretty much saying that, look, we understand that oppressive regimes will probably use this and abuse the system, so that's why we're only rolling it out in the U.S. Because the U.S. is definitely not an oppressive regime.
Oh,
not yet.
So this is not out yet. This will be out as of iOS 15. So it'll be out probably September or October. The biggest thing is this is only happening on child devices for the iMessages. Again, one, just be careful what the fuck you're sending. Don't send terrible things anyway. Um, Also, for the iCloud stuff, it's only going to compare your photos against the hashes of these of these terrible images if you're uploading your photos to iCloud Photos. So there are a couple of ways you can kind of get around that. One, just not send it, but two, like if you're concerned about people going through your photos, maybe turn off iCloud photo uploading. One thing they're saying with this is because they're not comparing photos, but the actual hashes, is that Apple actually is planning to do end-to-end encryption of everything. Because the one thing that they don't offer end-to-end encryption on is iCloud. Is iCloud data.
Which, funny enough, when I was installing or reinstalling things, one of them was WhatsApp, and WhatsApp was very clear to tell me, hey, that's the thing. If you back up your messages to iCloud, that's the only place that we don't guarantee end-to-end encryption for.
Yeah, so they a lot of tech analysts are saying that because they're doing it this way, because they're comparing the hashes of the photos in your iCloud library with the hashes of these terrible images, they're saying that Apple is preparing to make iCloud end-to-end encrypted. That way they don't have the keys to that too. And it's something that they will probably scan on device and then say, hey, there's a photo here on this device y'all might want to go check out. But yeah. Let's see, is Apple letting people stay remote? I've not seen anything about that. I know they delayed their return to office to October.
Yep.
But I want to say, do we? I got something about that. We got something about Apple in the workplace, or Apple's workplace coming up soon. So stay tuned. We got you on that. So what are y'all thoughts on all of the CSAM stuff going on with Apple and the I'm not going to say photo scanning because they're not scanning photos, but it's adjacent enough.
Basically good intentions, but the road to hell is paved in good intentions. I for one, I'm like, this can go one of many ways, and left is one of them.
South being another.
South being another. And I just for one, I'm just like, no, don't do that. And if if we just have to work a little harder, and but we're not there yet. We're not at that point where this can happen and somebody feels the need to not want to exploit this, because again, as you say, if there's a back door, somebody's going to use it. So I'd rather they just not do it. And because again, if Apple made up good points about why couldn't do that for the San Bernardino killer, don't automatically find a reason to do it now and then hope that people won't close. You'd be like, all right, let's delete that back door.
Well, I mean, it's forever a thing of being like, hey, we're doing a thing for the kids, right? We're doing a thing for the kids, and because we're randomly doing a thing for the kids.
Yeah.
And so it's a constant, every time thing. We want to do something, but we got to think about the kids here. You have to think about their safety and everything else. And I'm like, there is something to be said about knowing how people are going to respond to situations like that, where you're talking about the subjects that you're talking about, and how people will willingly, not knowing what the implications are, give away, hey, this could lead to like a mass government surveillance problem straight out of the Batman movies, right? In exchange for, but we're protecting the children. And it's one of those things that feels malicious to me, because the people who say these things have to know that that's how people are going to respond if they say them. And it takes people like Edward here or other people who are informed to just go, hey, but have y'all considered that if y'all do this, you can also do that? And given history, that's usually what happens when we do this nonsense. So maybe we don't do that. Because this is the same kind of nonsense that's built, like, it's that line of thinking, not necessarily related to like, kiddie porn or what have you, right? That leads to things like, oh, well, we can't legalize things for like LGBTQIA plus people and their right to express their genders as they, as they are comfortable with them and everything else in their workplaces and things like that. So, in order to protect like people from like the one possible thing that could happen, y'all just don't get any rights. I need people not to do that.
Right.
It's a tough subject. It's like you want to do the right thing, but again, like with any technology, of course, it's going to be exploited to its worst possible conclusion.
And I think that's the part about this that hurts the most. If there are a lot of things that it just like, there are things that it would be good to do that nonsense like this prevents us from just being able to do with confidence, because we always have to wonder what kind of fuckery are you going to do if we give you the permission or the right to do that. And
because I mean, because to be honest, when I saw the rumors, because like there were people reporting that Apple was going to announce it earlier that day, and I was excited. I actually was kind of excited about it, because I was like, this is great. Like, if they're not really looking at photos, they're comparing hashes to say, hey, this image hash matches this image hash. Obviously, this is a bad image. We need to call the cops on this motherfucker. Then, all right, cool. That's great. Like, I didn't feel like it was... It wasn't invading anybody's privacy, because it's not like somebody was going through photos. It was literally computers looking at hashes. Not even the images, but just the data in the image. But then it hit me, oh wait, if you have, like, I think somebody used the example of like Tiananmen Square. If you had that photo, and that photo is banned in China, if you had that photo on your phone and the Chinese government said, hey, scan for this hash, then, oh no, I'm now locked up for being a political dissident in China because I had it on my phone and it was uploaded on iCloud. And it's like, oh, okay. So it won't necessarily invade my privacy, but I could see how this could be used to find people.
It's the same way that they have things like, hey, we have, it's the classic example of the following. We have updated our policies on hate speech because we want our platform to be a safe platform for people. All right, cool. But then that means every time I get up and go, y'all need to not do the most when it comes to like being disrespectful to like black people, for example. I don't know. That looks like hate speech to me. Banned.
Oh, TikTok.
Dry.
Oh, TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Dry. Ashy. Unkempt.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
In more Apple news, and this one more concerning the privacy, and this isn't technically Apple related, but about a company they use. There is a call center that Apple uses where their workers are fearing that AI-powered surveillance cameras are going to be in their homes to just see if they're actually working. So not the fact that you're just online on Microsoft Teams or Slack, but your camera will tell on you.
Wild.
Home-based Apple call center workers in Colombia have expressed privacy concerns over plans to install AI-powered cameras in their homes to monitor their performance. The same issue has arisen over Apple UK workers based in Albania. Apple outsources some of its call center work around the world to Teleperformance, and employees say they are being pressured to sign a contract agreeing to the cameras despite an Apple policy prohibiting it. It's unclear how this is allowed. It's unclear how this was allowed to get as far as even the planning stages. Apple says it does not allow its contractors to do this. Teleperformance says that its use of the technology is for security reasons to ensure that employees are not taking photos or videos of confidential materials, but the report says that the AI can detect when employees are not using the keyboard or mouse and flag them as idle. So, like, this one isn't directly an Apple thing, but it seems like the contractor that Apple hires to do the support is saying, hey, this is what we're going to do.
Okay, but Apple could just be like, no.
And that's, I want to say there was an update to this, but I did not grab it. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm not. Let's see. This is the original NBC News article. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there is an update. I'm not seeing it. I want to say there was. But yeah, like, it's Apple's policy to say, yeah, that's not a thing that Apple is going to want. So it'd be interesting to see kind of where this goes. Because as his Apple spokesperson Nick Leahy said that the company prohibits the use of video or photographic monitoring by our suppliers and have confirmed Teleperformance does not use video monitoring for any of their teams working with Apple. Leahy said that Apple had audited Teleperformance in Colombia this year and did not find any core violations of our strict standards. We investigate all claims and will continue to ensure everyone across our supply chain is treated with dignity and respect.
Okay, so are y'all doing that or not, though?
Yeah, so that's kind of the interesting bit. Like, it doesn't seem like there is any additional reporting on that. Also, it seems like here, the worker said that she signed the contract, a copy of which NBC News has reviewed, because she feared losing her job. She said that she was told by her supervisor that she would be moved off the Apple account if she refused to sign the document. So I'm wondering if this was just a blanket agreement that she had to sign, but the cameras won't be going to Apple support. Like, I think it's just, like, I wonder if it's just, it's the document and the wording of the document that's kind of sending the red flags, because it's not like those cameras showed up. This seems to be reporting centered around the documents and signing it, saying that, hey, we're going to install cameras.
So, I mean, here's the question, though, right? Are they doing it or not?
Unfortunately, we don't have that answer right now. I mean, I hope if Apple, like Ruin says, like, if Apple's all about that privacy, now would be a good time to kind of say something, do
Yeah,
something.
I'm gonna need Apple
I
to
mean,
maintain that same energy.
because like here's the thing about the energy, right? This seems weird to me for one reason, and one very simple reason. If it were not the case, Apple could just be like, "What is this nonsense? That's not what's happening here. This is clearly a misconception. This is probably where it stemmed from, but we're not doing all that around here." They could just say that and clear this whole thing up, but they didn't. So that tells me something is happening here that's probably inappropriate, and people are trying to like whistleblow on it before it becomes an issue. Because that's the thing, even in the most corporate speak, even if you're crossing your T's and dotting your I's and checking with your legal team about this other stuff, if you're not surveilling people and doing the things that people are saying that you are doing, you can just go, we're not doing all that. Apple has had no problem with doing that before. Absolutely none. So, y'all want to tell me what flavor of tea this is? Because it's bitter and I don't like it. It
Well, I
probably
mean,
has too much star anise.
well, again, like Apple has said, like they prohibit that. So again, like it's following up, I guess, with these Colombian support, with the Colombian support staff, with telepresence or teleperformance or whatever the fuck it's called. Because Apple said like we're just not doing this. Again, like it kind of sucks that there's no follow up outside of, hey, this contract said that you had to, but nobody's saying like, okay, so is it happening or not? Like it seemed like Apple said, but that's not prohibited. We checked, they're not doing it, but nobody's saying whether or not that's actually happening. They provide evidence that it did happen. Oh, well, actually, no. In Albania, it was a proposal to introduce it. So even in Albania, it didn't happen.
Or at least it hasn't happened yet, and that's the issue that people are running into.
So yeah, like I guess
like they're not. It's one of those things. Like we're not talking about, at least from what I gathered from the article, right? It's not like they're talking about this thing has happened and here's the violation and the date and the time that it happened, and that we found out. It was a I'm looking at this paperwork and this stuff that people are suggesting, and we're being told that we have to sign this, and I'm not comfortable with it. Well, that's where we are right now.
Yeah. So I guess it's that thing of like, if Apple does anything, they're waiting to see if Teleperformance actually does it.
And apparently, like you were mentioning or here, it's not something that they've always done. It's like a new contract that they introduced in March, and I guess they're still working through it. That just goes, we could introduce, like we're looking at introducing these things. And it's kind of like, I think there would Apple be, very, very much in its own interest, among other things, to just go, hey, just to let y'all know, if y'all do that, we're gonna have to part ways.
Yeah,
like, we don't run that here.
And see, that's where the thing is. Like, I feel like whatever this document is, it's a blanket one for all of Teleperformance and all of their support staff.
Looks like the. Oh, sorry. Continue.
Like it's for all the support stuff, to where it's like, okay, we could do this, but if you work for Apple, obviously we're not going to do it. But for everybody else, yeah, fuck you. Those contracts, they don't say we can't.
Oh, this thing has layers. This has something to do with Apple, but it actually has nothing to do with Apple.
Go on.
So this company, the company, right? God, what's the name of this? Teleperformance acts as a call center for apparently a number of companies.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like, oh, this is a thing where people are like, how do I say this? They're not working directly for Apple. They're working for a company like They're working for a company like Telenet, where it's kind of like, we take like call center calls for these people, and there's a section of them that happen to work for Apple, but
Right.
every single employee who works for this for teleperformance was just like, hey, so our employee contracts as a worker for teleperformance specifically got a note that says, hey, we're adding like this whole section of things, and if you don't sign this, you can't keep working for teleperformance, period. That has nothing to do with Apple,
Right.
though.
Right.
So now Apple is just kind of like the awkward cousin, auntie, or whatever who's being pulled into this. It's like, I need you to kind of pick a side here so that we don't have to do this. And I'm guessing it's something that people are hoping that Apple steps in on because of the amount of power that they wield.
But see, and again, like that's where I come in and say, like, because Teleperformance does this work, like they pull contracts from Apple and
Uber,
know,
like Apple, Uber, and some other things.
Right. There's like the Apple support teams, even though they're signing this contract that says, hey, we could put cameras in your house, the Apple support team doesn't get the cameras because their company doesn't allow it. But Uber, oh yeah, you getting cameras. DoorDash, yeah, y'all getting cameras.
Well, like, here's the thing, though. If they have everybody, and this is the part that I think the, old girl was concerned about in the article, if everybody's over here and Teleperformance goes like, hey, as a condition of your employment here, you have to say that you agree to these things, what kind of conflict does that put them in?
And that's where, like, that's where I feel like the wording of that contract is important. Where it's not saying that we will, it's that we might. That way they can use the same contract for everybody. And if someone were to press them on, is look, we said we might do that, but because you're Apple, obviously we're not going to do this. Now, you could be taken off of that team, and then we could put you on Uber, and then you're going to get that damn camera. Like, that's what I think this is.
And then there's also that, like, none too unfamiliar thing that companies do, where if you start complaining too much about these things, they then start going, oh, well, you're not being a team player and you're causing trouble or whatever. And they start removing you from projects for no reason, because it's not like they have to keep you.
Yeah, I mean, it's like contract. Yeah, like, it's like contract companies here in the U.S. So glad I'm out of that shit. But yeah, like that's what I think. I think it's more or less like they saw the wording and got concerned. But yeah, it doesn't seem like it's happened, and I don't think that it will happen, at least for the Apple support.
That's weird. That's going to be complex, because here's the thing. I don't know what happens one way or the other. If that means that they part ways, and I guess they do, but if they don't, and these people continue to be here and work for Apple, it's going to be weird having like this one bubble of people who then go, hey, you can't do this, because quiet as it's kept, what I imagine is a bunch of people trying to low-key get put in the Apple product so they don't get these cameras installed to their home.
But then, I mean, that's up to the employer to say, hey, yeah, no, that's not happening. Sorry.
And then and see, once that happens, and that's the concern, right? Because once that happens, it's so now you have like a whole project that you're trying to like low-key keep people away from, because they're the only ones you can't surveil. What's going on here, Teleperformance?
I mean, we could look at it like it's
and I'm also waiting for Apple to be like, hey bestie, like get on the phone with Uber and these other companies. Hey bestie, your people, like we might want to talk about.
Do you think these other companies care? Like,
see, the thing is, here's what we have. If we have learned nothing from anybody except from the baby this week,
well,
one thing that we have learned is if you start talking to people at the level of power, dollars, and cents, they'll consider things, even if they're generally selfish and awful people.
You see, and that's where I don't agree. I do not think so.
I mean, you say
What?
that until like certain people had to put out a PR statement. I'm just saying.
I mean, yeah, sure.
I'm just
but looking at
I'm
where,
also throwing out. I'm also just throwing out here. We literally had a whole governor of a whole ass state quit because they did not want the consequences.
and again, like it's a thing of, if this was America, sure, I would agree.
Fair.
But it's Colombia, and it's not to say that Colombia's a poor country, but it's a thing where, look at where we were up until the pandemic, where shit was unfair. Nobody was quitting because we still needed to get that bag. There was no safety net. And apparently the safety net is so dangerous to a lot of these Republicans here in the States. Like, they're trying to cut that funding to force people to go back, to put them back in that scenario of, yeah, shit's fucked, but there's nothing I can do about it. I gotta stay here because I gotta get that bag. See, yeah, Uncle quietly crawling into this chat.
Nah, ban her. She should be resting.
She or here. Is she gonna be somewhere?
Ban. You either crawl up out this chat or you boot up Skype. One of the two. We not doing this.
See, what we not finna do is this.
We talk about unfair working environments. But yeah, like that's why I can't agree. Like, because of the fact that it's Colombia, and they don't have the same. Like, I feel like they don't have the same worker protections that we have in the U.S. They were like she said, like, the worker said that she signed the contract because she was afraid she was gonna lose her job. So like it doesn't matter. For these companies, it does not matter. As that little audio clip on TikTok says, they do not care. We do not care. Wow. Okay. I mean, I guess you're right. If people quit to escape the consequences, Uncle's going back to sleep.
Yep.
As you should. As you should.
We will get you on the next go around. Get some rest. Love you.
Nah, you told me you couldn't go to school today because you were sick. So be in the bed. I better not see you in the living room. I better not see you in the kitchen. I better not see you playing Nintendo.
You said you were sick. Sick people stay in bed. So stay in bed. I don't want to hear Coco Melon or nothing playing. Okay? Stay in the bed.
Not as having to be like these people's parents.
I mean, I tell you, like, the other day I was watching like home improvement videos on YouTube, and I'm like, well, I'll be damned, I'm my father. It's just not Bob Vila no more. It's just some dude on the internet doing tile.
I mean, to be fair, I feel like there's some tendencies. I feel like I'm getting into some tendencies my dad did too. Like, he was into tech, but like whatever 70s and 80s tech was. It doesn't look the same as it does now, but like even into like when I was growing up, like he was getting into cameras and trying to do video editing and shit like that. So
yeah, it was my uncle for the most part. My uncle was very much into the whole like video, like photos and everything. My dad was into that too. Like, God, I can't tell you how many baby pictures of me. Like, here's Kev sleeping. Here's Kev drooling. Here's Kev in the bath. Here's Kev this. And I'm like, Dad, no. Dad, no. So just yeah. So I've taken the reins of the technology where he like left off.
But I mean, since we're talking about, all of these things with fairness and things involving Apple, do we just want to roll right on into the following article?
Oh yeah,
Because
there we go. You're there. Because yes, in more workplace news
not
involving
more
Apple.
workplace news and like Apple news. Like Apple just went, okay, well, you know, I'm not sure that we're really the people that you should be looking to for an example and stuff.
The way this week with Apple made me feel, and then Samsung showing those two foldables,
I just saw them foldables.
and I'm like, damn, could I go to Samsung? I hate Samsung, but damn that flip. That Samsung flip looks like a Pixel 2. And it's like, you know what? I see you, big dog. I see you.
Mm-hmm.
I kinda want you. Like I was on Razer, but man, that Z Flip 3.
Mm-hmm. That was great.
Look, before we get into that, I have to show y'all this. Like just, and not the fold. I don't like the fold. I like the flip. It's the flip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the
It's
flip.
you're just like, it's a nostalgia, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Like being
Well,
able to like clap your phone in half and
It's not
slide in your pocket.
actually. It's not the nostalgia.
Y'all stop talking to Anka before y'all get her banned, please.
Anka, go to bed.
Anka's on punishment.
Mm-hmm. Go to bed, Anka.
It's not the nostalgia, but it's like I actually love the design of this phone. And I wish. Okay, are you going? Look, show me the full back of this phone. Look at this. Look at this. Does that not scream Pixel 2?
Mm-hmm.
Like that is a whole ass Pixel 2, man.
I love.
I mean, Anka could just talk to people if she just open Skype.
Mm-hmm.
So simple. So simple.
I
But
say,
yeah, I just
Anka, either pull up or go to bed. You can't do both.
like, come on, this thing is nice. All right, look, I'm
Yeah,
gonna stop gushing over the Flip 3. Samsung, how you do this to me?
Right.
I mean, and then too, there's also the Pixel 6 coming out with the Tensor core, with that Tensor, their own silicon, the Tensor chip. Yeah, if I'm gonna go back to Android, yeah, I gotta give my iPhone at least like 2 years so I can own it. Apparently the Flip is on Google Fi though. Do I need to talk to somebody? I feel like I might have to. I might have to talk to some Google Fi. So look, can I trade in my Pixel 4a to get that Flip, please? Sin, I believe you are muted.
I'm not muted. I just have like a button I could push. But okay. Anka, listen
your
to
point?
me. Have you seen what I wear to Tech Talk Thursdays? Have you seen me not pull up here eating, snacking, and chewing right into the microphone? Do you think we're scared of you and the Bonnet Chronicles? If you don't get up over here,
shown up on this show with a bonnet before anyway. I feel like
You've
there's
worn
precedent.
a bonnet before.
Yes,
What are you
there's
talking
precedent
about?
for this.
listen, Anka J Blodge, if you don't get up here and call into this thing right now, at this point, now you don't even get the option to go to bed.
Well,
Pick up the phone.
Well,
Pick up the phone.
we're gonna pull an Apple now. Pick up the phone or you're fired.
That's what I'm saying. You don't even have to be on Skype if you don't want to. You just be in the call. Just get in the call.
Yeah, we got the picture. You can just hop on Discord. I can put the picture up. Your 2,000 megapixel resolution picture.
While she's out here looking like an extra from the Shaft movie, but don't want to pick up the phone.
Tackle, you miss Anka oversleeping and refusing to get on the call.
Okay. Always.
I'm just sitting here looking at this call, and I notice that there's not a fourth person on it. I'm waiting.
Well, look, we're not gonna go any further in this show until Anka shows up.
Can I get a Jeopardy? Can I get the Jeopardy song, please?
Let's see.
There she is.
Anka J. What was that?
Anka, get right.
Listen, I'm sorry if I fall asleep again, but I'm here at least.
Well, no,
You better get up out that. You better get out that med and move around a bit.
You better slap some cold water on your face. Take plenty of stretches if you want to, ma'am.
Boo you a pot of coffee.
That's all play in the kitchen.
Yeah, yes, that is Anka's pick. Her 2 million megapixel image she sent me. Spent half the day trying to get it to fit in the OBS.
You know, to call, we don't want to talk about that because all I'm going to sit here and say is the following. Y'all could have had the honor and the privilege of having a person who is like the face of public broadcasting, television, and literacy for multiple years be the host of your show, and you decided to pick the bland seasoning from the back of the shelf 2 weeks over its due date, and I hate y'all.
And then split it with Blossom. Like,
I mean, but she's an actual astrophysicist, though.
Who be hawking brain pills?
Do I have any particular thing against like Blossom, the astrophysicist? I absolutely don't. But LeVar Burton was right there.
Yeah, I mean,
she's not a astrophysicist. She's a neurobiologist.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to put respect on her actual profession. She is a doctor.
Yeah.
I mean, but saying you are right. You are right. I don't know why they chose the other dude. This is why I don't have live TV in my house.
You know something?
And then it's like you give LeVar a week, right? You give him a week. He is amazing in his week, right? We all love it. We all say, hey, we love this man. We advocating for this man. Other celebrities are advocating for this man. And then you give it to somebody who does not have the personality and Blossom? You split it between two other people?
And let's not forget, not just that they knock it out with the 1 week of hosting that he got, but that he had people, including the public and other celebrities, advocating for damn near a year beforehand to get him on the show. So for like, these people said, if you get him on the show, we'll show up. And then we showed up and we're just like, this is amazing. And this is what y'all decided to do.
The way I'm going to not watch Jeopardy after this.
They don't need your money. They don't need your money.
Well,
at the same time, the way, like, y'all did all this, but kept Pat Sajak and Vanna White for how long? I'm just...
The way I'm not even going to watch Jeopardy. I'll just be like, whatever. The way.
You know something? My grandmother lived and died watching Alice Trebek on that show and all of that. And so, you know something? I can just be content with all of those memories for asking all of those questions and playing a couple of video games on PlayStation related to Jeopardy.
That's it.
Maybe we should play Jeopardy.
Takal was like, look at Takal being out here with the facts.
And the ratings were still good. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
A week during the Olympics.
Unfortunately, I watched none of those things.
I watched none of the Olympics.
Tell
I
me why
watched the opening ceremony, and that was it.
we were looking for something to put on the TV for the cookout Sunday. And so, well, I guess we could watch the Olympics. Like, we could just watch the obscure shit that would just happen during the Olympics. Come to find out, Sunday was the last day. It's like, wait, what? It's over?
Yeah,
Fuck.
yeah.
I guess. Well, it's the first Olympics I missed because I don't know why they had it during COVID, and I was just not watching it out of principle.
Bruh.
Yeah, it was a combination of those things of like out of principle, and I'm like, I don't want to watch no Olympics now.
I was confused because they were calling it the 2020 Olympics, and I was like, "Isn't it 2021?" But it was supposed to happen last year. But
Yeah.
still, I was just like,
Apparently, they're the only people who got my memo of saying we should just postpone 2020 until we can go back outside again.
Right.
But even then, they just couldn't wait.
They were
we
like,
still can't go back outside. People just over it.
That's what I said. Like they couldn't wait. They
couldn't
couldn't wait.
They were like, we got this new stadium. We gotta recoup some costs out of it. We gotta get some use out of it. So, yeah, that.
It was just, and then all the Ashley people coming for Simone. Like, I was just like, I'm not watching the Olympics. This is
devoid of moisture.
Actually, can we talk about that for a second? Because you want to know what?
Go
on.
The Ashley and the Unseasoned, who were also not Olympians, came for her, but the former Olympians who were in her position and didn't have the agency to say so then absolutely said no, Simone was correct and should have done the thing. Imagine that the actual Olympians who were present were just like, nah, Simone was very much where she should have been in that moment. And all of the non-Olympians are the people with the extra side commentary to say, if you don't take your bland, dry, unmoisturized self somewhere,
right,
and sit down when the grown folks are talking.
Right, either you get your ass on that balance beam and them uneven bars, or you shut the hell up. That's the way I see it. Do a wolf turn on them bars, and if you don't break your neck, then come at me. But until then, shut up.
I'm just glad Simone. It's always again black women taking the first step to be like, hey y'all, I ain't okay. I'm chilling. Y'all can do it too.
Well, I mean, do we want to run through the list at this point?
Do we at this point? Do we need to? Because it's just ridiculous.
Because remember, Simone is just the latest avatar. There was Naomi before that. There were the Williams sisters before that. There's just like a lot of people being like, yo, listen, this ain't it.
Didn't Marshawn Lynch try that? Like back in 2014?
Oh, that's the other thing that we don't want to talk about. People, you want to know what people used to do when they felt the way that Simone did? But couldn't say what she said? They straight up retired.
Yeah.
Now, here's my question for y'all. Pop quiz. How many times did Michael Jordan retire from basketball?
Twice? No, shit. 3 times.
3 times.
Because man straight up left basketball and went to play baseball for a hot minute or something like this.
Oh, wow.
And it's kind of like...
For a minor league team.
And it's just kind of like one of those, y'all, if you left basketball just to go play another sport, you were actually retirement wasn't the problem.
Yeah, you tried to be Bo Jackson, and
except for Bo. Bo did 2 sports in the midst of
people
bats.
Now, people straight up just wanted to leave, but y'all wouldn't let them leave, so they said we're just going to retire.
Right, exactly.
Bruh. I'm also mad about the Sha'Carri incident too. Oh my gosh.
No. I think Megan. See, the thing is, I'm not even upset with Megan, but I'm really upset at the people who went, you know what we're gonna do? Well, okay, I'm only minorly upset about that. It's one of those. Sha'Carri gets banned for doing things, and then all these people step up and go, something is part of my training to keep me focused and relaxed and all these other things. I used to have a little bit of something, or have CBD oil or something like this, and instead of imagine y'all not talking to the person who got banned from the event for this, and instead talking to people who look nothing like this person about like how weed was part of their training when they made it to like the Olympics and all this other stuff. And this is like, I don't know. I can't help but think about all these dispensaries that exist in the same state that people are in jail for possession. I can't. Like that's it's.
Speak it.
I sure am
Speak
out
it.
of. I am out of cider at this moment, and I feel like I should just refresh. I should just refill, and let us have a moment to reflect on that. We're gonna have like a small church intermission as the choir comes out to sing us one or two like selected songs, and or Major Anka and Kevin talk about this article.
Again, the only show that can go protect the church.
Always. I'm so glad.
Trouble don't last. I'm sorry.
He might not come when you want him,
but he's on time. I'm sorry. Fucking this.
Well, you need to come in with the beat, Major.
Anywho, look. That's why I was not a part of a choir. That's why I was never a part of a choir. I tried it. And back in the day when, I was heavy into church, when I was heavy into it, right. Let's be on the Usher board, not the Usher, but the Usher board. The Usher board. It was in the children's choir. I tried to sing on the male chorus with my dad. Yeah, I learned some things about myself then. Being on the choir is definitely one of the things that, hey, that's where I don't need to be. Oh, soundboard? Oh, I can control the audio levels? This is why I love my mixer here? Oh, I can do that. That's great.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Not we all went from the choir to the media ministry.
I mean...
No, I was never choir. I was like full on media ministry. I was like, yep, put me there.
No, really.
I did not know it existed up until just then. I was like, yep, I'm gonna file for a transfer, please, to the back of the church. Thank you.
Yeah, they tried to do the whole Usher board thing, and I was like, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I like sitting in this chair by myself. It was great.
Is it wrong to say, like, I tried being on the Usher board, but I feel like you have to have a certain mean, steel-eyed look to look at people when they're getting up and moving when they're not supposed to? I just didn't have that look.
I have that a little bit, and that also kind of helped me with marching band a little bit. But yeah, it's like, you know what? I just don't want to be on my feet anymore. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay with this. I'm okay.
Exactly.
Now that Since back, we can go to this next article. Now that every employee is present, seated, and is ready to work. There's no display. Nothing's being displayed. There we go.
I was
Fixed it.
In the break room, y'all. I'm sorry. I had to fall asleep in the break room, but things.
So yeah, in more Apple workplace news, Apple bans internal employee surveys on pay equity and more.
I'm an empty box.
Oh no.
I jiggle the cables.
There we go. We found Anka again.
There you go. Jiggle the cables. Okay.
I'm sorry, just what you thought. I'm an empty box. Oh my god. A group of Apple employees has been conducting internal surveys about what their colleagues think of a hybrid return to work and also pay equity. However, according to some employees, the company is now shutting down these practices and prohibiting employees from taking internal surveys.
What?
As reported by The Verge on Monday, despite Apple saying it doesn't have a problem with pay inequality, the company reportedly shut down at least 3 internal surveys of employees who wanted to verify that information themselves.
Wow.
Apparently, so essentially the issue is that Apple did not want this stuff going through their internal Slack using internal resources because of the fact that it could it was, hold on, let me, where is it? Apple's human resources team has asked the responsible employees to stop the survey because the demographic questions contain personally identifiable or personally identifying information.
PII. Man.
Let's see here. Where is it? I'm trying to find it. Okay, Apple engineer Cher Scarlett, who previously complained about how the company has been handling work from home requests, is now taking a new anonymous survey with other Apple employees. This time, the survey is being conducted on an external platform. So people want to know. And again, let's start off with this. Just so you know, it is not illegal to ask your coworkers how much they're getting paid, as much as it is not illegal for you to tell them how much you are getting paid. It is not illegal.
Not illegal in the slightest.
In fact, it's
It
actually
was.
encouraged.
Yeah, who said was?
The employers.
Mm-hmm.
This wow, they're trying to treat it like HIPAA or something. Okay.
Yeah. You can be like, because that's the whole thing. It's like you want to like deride people from doing that, being like, oh, it's not appropriate, it's not against, like, why? Like, why wouldn't I be like, oh, how much do you make? Or Major, how much do you make? Like, it's not really like an issue. It's just like we want to make sure that people are not asking, so that way we don't have to be like, all right, why are they making more than me, or why are they making this amount of money for this?
And we doing the same thing.
And we doing the same thing, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, let me see, Tycho. I feel like coworkers are doing that because of the fact that that's what they believe.
Right.
They think it's illegal. It's not.
Not illegal.
Imagine.
Yeah. So I asked the question, do you think Apple has a problem with employees gathering this information? Just in general. Let's say they find something through this external tool. Do you think Apple has a problem with that? Because Apple says that they don't have a pay inequality problem. What happens if somebody finds out the contrary?
Burn it all down. Just kidding. We're not gonna wait.
That
Don't
would require them to come into the office. So
Don't take that statement as regard to another time and place. All right. By the way, but yes, it would require them to come to the office.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Hmm.
I swear, Apple out here just being. Why are these tech companies forcing me to be a Luddite at this point? So just stop. I just want to be a good consumer and just consume all of these things, and not have to think about the terrible things you're doing behind the scenes, please.
Well, if they stop doing terrible things behind the scenes, this didn't have to happen. But
I know.
everything that's done in the dark comes to light. They just doing this to themselves at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Let me be a mess for a minute.
Uh-oh.
No, y'all keep talking. Y'all keep talking. I'm just gonna be a mess for a minute. How are
Hey,
y'all hearing me? How are y'all hearing me coming through at this moment?
fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wonderful. Continue.
Oh, okay. All right, all right. I'm concerned, but okay. Let's see. It's just no one wanted to call this shit out back in the '90s when they were super successful. It's PR control over outside narratives. Yeah, it's
Okay. So here's the thing, right? I really. Oh, sorry. There we go. Can y'all hear me okay now?
yes.
Yes.
Okay. I feel like we review this a lot. Like a lot. We say this all the time. But for the uninitiated who are listening to this podcast, for the different industries and the CEOs that run them everywhere, for the people of this podcast, allow me to remind you.
Social media exists and we will call you out on your bullshit.
I don't know why people don't just like it's like this is not a difficult concept to grasp. Like people will sit here and like take to their social media accounts and talk to other people about what they're doing. We have an awareness and solidarity that supersedes the office building that we're in. It's geographical, it's national, it's international. I need y'all to stop doing these things and acting like people aren't going to find out. Like you're just going to be the next article featured on Otaku. So once again,
We will find out, we will talk to each other, and we will absolutely call you on your bullshits. Doing this nonsense every week.
Mm-hmm. It's
quiet as it's kept, like we're gonna find out. Y'all keep dropping bag after bag after bag after bag. I wish I had that many chances to fuck up that monumentally with the amounts of money that people are paying me and still be able to function the way y'all just throw money into roaring flames for no reason. Because in every single situation that you're throwing away these bags, it's because you're being a dick.
Right.
And you can just not and have money. Like imagine hundreds of thousands of dollars and y'all are just like, nah, I just want to be foolish.
Have millions of dollars, golden parachutes, and all that kind of stuff by just being good. Being good, giving people the product that the people want and not being assholes about it. And imagine making buku amounts of money and not being an asshole to get it. Like, just literally like, here's the product, go buy the product, and we will give you the money. And yet, no, let's continue to utterly fuck up the bag. Somebody could have literally just said, "Hey, yo, how y'all doing tonight?" But no,
that's the thing.
Are they
fucking up the bag though?
Like, no, they're fucking up the message. That's the whole thing.
Something here's
it's like U.S. capitalism. Is anything that they do? Is it really going to matter? Like, it's something I've really thought about. Like, knowing what Activision Blizzard is going through.
See,
as soon as they announce fucking the next Call of Duty Vanguard, from what I hear, is going to be new. It's not going to matter. Nobody's going to fucking care that Activision Blizzard is going through some shit. That game is going to sell like fucking gangbusters. So we can sit and say, "Oh, they fucking up a bag," but are they really?
Yeah.
Well, honestly, one of the articles that you're over here talking about is going to talk about that exact same type of thing happening. Like it's 3 articles from now.
Oh yeah.
Because again, it's the product. The product is good. We've never said that. The product is always good. Till it's not, then the product is bad. But the product is good. It's still the messaging. It's still people are being like, no, I don't like that.
It's that thing of, it puts me in a very weird spot. And I know we've talked about this last time. Like, look, say what you want about Blizzard. I still like fucking Overwatch.
nothing wrong. And it's like, dude, there's nothing, dude,
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with
and
that.
I know that,
But
and I know that. So it's like,
fuck them.
yeah,
That's the whole thing we're trying to say. We're trying to say, yes, doesn't matter if if you love Overwatch, play Overwatch. But guess what? Fuck them. The fuck them still
I just wish
stand.
there
Why?
was like I just need a precision strike.
It's like,
I just need a precision. Like, look, I need a list
Hey,
of
you can-
names
that's what I'm
to say,
saying.
fuck Bobby Kotick,
Yes,
fuck J. Allen Brack,
yes.
fuck that dude with the Cosby Suite, fuck all the other dudes who took part in that Cosby Suite.
Right.
Fuck
But
the
I'm
woman. Fuck the woman who was on the part of the Bush administration who now works for Bobby Kotick. Fuck that law firm that they hired.
That's
That's
what I'm
union
saying.
busting. Give me a
The
list.
whole-
I need to take the time to say fuck
Right.
individual people.
But see,
because
but
I
that's what I'm-
can't say fuck Activision Blizzard because there
But
are
that's
too many
yeah.
people who work there that aren't a part of the problem.
Right. But see, that's the whole thing. Yes. Like, as the gaming community will probably forget a lot of this once a new Overwatch, once a new Diablo, once a new Call of Duty. But guess what's not going to go away? The lawsuits, the criminal cases. A lot of that stuff is going to be right there in the middle of that. And that's going to pump it up a little bit. But then as soon as somebody gets perp walked out of the building, it's a wrap.
Oh no, they quit.
Again,
They quit before then.
or they quit.
They
Still
quit
gonna
before
get-
then.
Guess what? Still lawsuits. How many people still gonna get
Lawsuit
sued
always
and
gonna
still
be
out of their jobs? Yeah, you quit, but I'm still suing you, guy.
Yeah, Tycho was right.
Because
Those
you were
lawsuits definitely gonna
responsible.
go away.
Well,
It's
the
sad.
lawsuits are
It's
maybe.
sad.
Oh, you
Possible.
think? Oh, still catch this lawsuit. I don't care.
I mean, they don't care. That's what I'm saying.
The lawsuits
They're
going away.
gonna set, like I say, they're not going away. They're gonna be settled. That's what happens.
I will not feel good until Bobby Kotick goes away.
Somebody's gonna pay some money. Somebody's gonna pay some money. Some people are gonna get fired, and
All of them need to
that's
get
where
fired.
it's gonna be.
You know what?
The whole thing. That's what I'm saying. The whole thing.
Executives
of,
and managers. Like, look,
Right.
if you are an employee,
Right.
like it stops at like lead designer. That's it.
Right.
The lead designer keeps their job, or whoever is equal to a lead designer on a video game.
Right.
Lead designer below, y'all keep your jobs. Everybody above lead designer, you a project manager, maybe we'll talk
Maybe.
about it. But
Right.
anybody above a lead designer, yeah, you won't fucking notice.
Yeah.
I don't know how
That's what I'm
developer
saying.
hierarchies work, but yeah.
Like I said, it ain't a matter. It ain't truly a matter. It ain't truly a matter of these things just gonna disappear, and they're going to be like, oh, they disappear. Nobody's ever going to talk about it again. I will remember, and Sin will remember, and Anka will remember,
I'll remember.
and and then like I say, Major's gonna remember.
Call me Prepper Tron.
They can. So
I'll
that's what
remember.
I'm saying. I am going to be the one to stand on this rock and beat my drum of fuck them until my arms get sore, and I'm going to pass this off to the next generation so they can beat the drum of fuck them. I'm not playing another Activision Blizzard game. I'm not playing. I've whittled myself down to one Ubisoft game, and that is Anode, and that's it. And I will not make content for it. I will not stream it. I'm done with it. Because that is the thing of fuck 'em. And if I am the lone person in that, then I'm the lone person in that. But I'm going to beat the drum until somebody comes up and beats the drum with me. Because that's the whole problem of things that happen. We let these things go away. We get complicit with it, and then it comes right back again.
I don't think it's an argument of complicity.
It's not so much an
it's not
argument of
complicit.
complicity.
It's
not
not
an argument of
complicity. It's the fact
It's
that
about-
there's so much shit.
Right.
There's just so much of it.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I am sitting down and beating the drum of fuck it. And if anybody else wants to beat it with me, they are perfectly welcome to. If you don't want to, that's fine. I'm not looking anywhere near, away from you. Play the games. But guess what? I remember. And I say, fuck it. And fuck them.
Fuck.
And that's all I got to say about that.
Fuck 'em. And a bit of good news for people who are worried about Windows 11 not working on their PCs.
Yep.
Asus is rolling out a BIOS update, which will do one thing and one thing only. It will turn on TPM 2.0 on your motherboard if you are too afraid to do it yourself.
Glad for that. To be fair, because BIOS updates, I don't care what nobody says, BIOS updates are freaking scary.
Yeah,
They're scary for everybody.
That's the one thing I do not like doing.
For everybody. And I'm like, and that's when the one time I'm always like, if my power goes out, there's a possibility my motherboard's bricked. Unless I have like the dual BIOS or the emergency BIOS or whatever, or the dual BIOS setup where I could just be like, all right, switch over from here, switch to that, do that, fix that, yada. But yeah, BIOS updates are freaking scary.
Yeah, so one, I have an Asus motherboard. And I just recently did a BIOS update to fix the whole storage USB issue I was having. So I was like, what, another one? I could have waited and just got this. So I looked to see what it was. Oh, this just turns on TPM 2.0. But if you know where to go on the BIOS and do it yourself, just do that and don't have to download this update. Well, oh, that's actually easier. Will save me time. Because a BIOS update takes forever to apply. Well, Ruin, this shit costs money. It's not a work machine. I can care.
I want another.
I can care less. I couldn't care. Wait, I couldn't care less if a work machine died. But this is my PC.
A thing of chaos.
You know, I would just love another melted M2 slide. That would be great.
Oh my god. I'm glad I get my mobiles from Micro Center if they break for any reason during about. Look, Tygo, we ain't got to do this.
No.
Why? Why must you just say the worst things like I have a Micro Center and you don't? Like, that's not cool, man.
Weird flex, but okay.
No, it is a weird flex, and I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy. I do not like that.
Weird flex, but all right, bro.
Weird flex, but okay.
I don't think she melted that M2 slot. I think that the motherboard shipped like that, but because she wasn't putting anything there, nobody noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It was fucked in its inception. It was
already
created.
I think that motherboard had a lot of issues to begin with.
Yeah.
Wait, was that Asus?
It was a Gigabyte.
Oh, Gigabyte.
Yeah, remember her video was flickering.
Yeah,
Bad. It was so bad.
See, I think that was just something wrong with that board, period.
Kept crashing.
Yeah, you had a bad board.
No, Tycho, there is none. There is no Micro Center. We used to have a Tiger Direct. We used to have 2 here, and we got none of those.
None of them.
I am sad, and I am lonely. The only thing I have left are Best Buys, and it's I am fortunate it's right down the street from me. But even then, it's a Best Buy and not a Micro Center.
It's not what I want. I would prefer a Radio Shack style of business where it's small, compact.
Now we have those.
But you could still get like computer parts with them, and then you can order, and that would make more sense for areas that need that.
Now I have one of those. There are multiple of them here where I live. Like there's like one here in Raleigh. There's another one in Durham or something like that. So I can go to those places, and actually
we don't have that. Well, we don't have that, Tico. Even then, we don't have that. I'm talking about Radio Shack style, like a small building kiosk, not like a thing there.
Like I actually had to use ours to flash I had to flash box because I bought a motherboard that did not have the latest firmware to use a specific AMD processor. So it's like in order for me to flash it, I'd have to have an older one. So I had to take it to Micro Center so that way they can use an old one, flash it, and allow me to use my new processor. Which, yeah, that was a bummer. But it said I had to pay money for that. But it's like, look, I needed this computer done, and it's like I couldn't wait. So yeah, if you are afraid of going into your BIOS, to change a setting, you can update your BIOS and have it changed for you. So I don't know if anybody noticed, and I'm just putting it out because apparently people were noticing, people were talking about it. I don't know. Twitter is rolling out a design update that includes a new font, color changes, and more. It's supposed to make it more accessible. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like it.
They did. It's like a slow rollout for everybody. And it's one of those things where some of these things were just like...
Yeah, I still think I got the old one.
When every company grows up, they just want to be popular and cool enough to have a custom font, and that's what they did. We have our own font. It's in bold. We called it Chirp.
And it's ugly.
The free fonts y'all were using were just fine. They were fine.
They were fine.
The other things that they did were they changed some of the action buttons so that they appear as like stark white or like close to white, as opposed to like a shade of blue or something like this. I think they did the same thing with some of the like and unlike buttons and all this other stuff too. So I think it's a thing like, I think most of it is just that for the most part. Like there's nothing major happening there. The new font that they have for the body copy is thinner than the original copy and smaller, and therefore you're just kind of like trying to like, I don't know if accessibility means making things harder to read, but that's what you did.
Well,
inaccessibility. Make it harder.
The thing is, I noticed these things in the same way that I noticed that Discord has a couple of places that they have like weird fonts and things like that, but I'm into it. But there's also that thing of being like, when y'all said this was accessible to who? I want to know who you asked.
They didn't ask nobody. They didn't ask us. Jag said, "We're making the decision. We're taking away fleets, and we're fucking up the font. Let's go." Jag says, I talked to myself, and myself thought it was a good idea, so I am going to I say that we must implement it. I am Jack, hipster hobo.
Yeah.
All love me in despair.
Thread explaining all of this here. I mean, granted, yep, people have come out. Hi, I'm a person with migraines, poor vision, and a neurological condition that affects my ability to read text. This font is really inaccessible.
It's very inaccessible.
I wish you had tested it with people with visual and cognitive disabilities before pushing it live, or gave us an option to change back.
Mm-hmm.
Why do they just keep making changes that nobody asked for? Like,
I think they're just trying to take revenge because they got rid of fleets.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they could have given me an edit button.
Honest, like,
No. Like,
or,
I'm gonna fight y'all tooth and nail about that one thing. No, absolutely not.
Or ad free Twitter.
Yeah,
ad free Twitter. That would be fake.
Wait, what? What's your position on no edit button?
Have y'all not seen the amount of people who come out here and say some heinous shit and then dirty delete some stuff, and what y'all want to do is give people an edit button? What's wrong with you?
Unless we're gonna do like edit history and make that people see that, yeah.
Right.
But, and you know that they're not gonna do that because they're not keeping all that history.
True. So yeah,
wait, no. Let's roll that back. 280 characters is not a lot of space. You could definitely keep a track. You can definitely keep all of
No, like I didn't say that they couldn't. I said that they won't.
I
won't.
They will not. They
won't.
won't. They won't do it.
I think
They
there's
won't.
too much money in I think it's too much money for them to not retain data. Who do you
Nah,
think Twitter's run by Apple?
It's run by Jack, and he spends most of his time in South Africa not helping people. Listen, have you not seen, like, okay, when was the last time that you tried to get
richest hipster out here?
Like,
I mean,
out
Silicon
here
Valley is full of them.
Yep.
and like, like keeping like a record of every tweet that someone has like not publicly deleted is one thing, but trying to keep like a list of everybody's like editing history for every single thing, because people aren't going to just use that for misspelling.
Right. Yeah.
People are going to go out here and say some bogus shit and then change that and like gaslight us in real time. I don't have time for that.
Like, I don't know.
That's true.
I still feel like that. I still feel like
about.
there is a method in which if they were to introduce an edit, especially the way people are archiving that information, like to combat that, they make sure that the unedited tweet is still accessible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but here's the question: are they going to do that though?
We'll never know because they'll never give it to us.
But like,
if we look at the current history of the nonsense and foolery that they're on,
I mean, to be fair, who's to say? And I'm just gonna be devil's advocate on this one. Who's to say that they're not working on the edit button and they're trying to figure that part
out? I just don't.
Well, let's look at the. Okay, I would say that that Fleet and its retirement and the current font changes may indicate that not really.
Look, they're development teams. We don't know. We don't know. They could be Google. Too many teams working on too many things and they just don't work together. They kept the Clubhouse thing. That's still thriving for them. They're still hoping to launch these super tweets.
What if, like, the edit button, they implemented it, but you couldn't edit your tweet for like a week until after it was there?
So here's like, you want to know what? And you want to know what? Here's the thing. What if they're working on the edit? Aren't they working on like the dislike and like button at the moment?
This is horrible.
Why do we
this
need a
does look
button?
bad. Why? Just no.
That's in dark mode, by the way, because that's how y'all said things should be. But yeah, that is the website.
As it should. You're right.
That is the website at 100% of its size.
That was no okay. Yeah, I'm okay. Oh boy. Oh.
I'm not here for it.
Just oh boy. So Discord has malware on it. I don't know how to transfer from just transition from that. I'm just upset now. Discord malware is a persistent and growing threat. Apparently, so the issue, so what they're saying is
for anybody who's been paying attention to Discord in general, I don't know if this really comes as a shock here.
Well, what it is the fact that people tend to host files and stuff on Discord. It just sits on their servers, and if nobody checks it to see if it's bad, it just stays there, just waiting, hoping that somebody will click that link and then get the whole day fucked up. Well, no, I mean, what it means is if you were to click on a link in Discord to a file and it downloads it from Discord servers, because that's where that shit's being hosted, you're fucked. So it doesn't matter if it's mobile, your desktop or browser, it doesn't matter. If you were downloading that file from Discord.
This is a thing that we were concerned about way back when, because they had like a whole thing of people being like, hey, if you get a DM and someone throws a link in there, just like on Facebook in your emails, please don't click on it because bad things happen after that.
Yep.
And that's why DM, and that's why I would just be like, y'all can't DM me unless we're like in a similar server, unless we're like friends or whatever. Like, no DMs from strangers. We don't do that.
Stranger danger.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I had somebody try that with me, like posing as a developer. Was like, "Hey, I want you to check out my game. I want you to check out my game information." I was like, oh, "Okay, cool. What's your Twitter page?" I don't have a Twitter page, but you can check it out in my Discord. And I'm like,
No, thank you.
"No, thank you. You got
I'm
you got a
good.
YouTube, a Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
You got a trailer.
You want to hit me with a
You got gameplay.
screenshot?
You got you got screenshots. You got a
Be
Instagram
careful. They
page.
can put a virus in. They can put a virus in an image.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, you got Insta? No, I was like the links. I was like, yo, Instagram, and then I would circumvent that, type it out into my search, and then find them there as opposed to clicking on the links. And they were like, none of that. And he was like, dude, could you just come to it? And like blocked.
Oh, man, I gotta reinstall Windows Sandbox on this PC.
So now, okay. So just no downloading anything from Discord.
I mean, sure. Or
Well, it's one of those caution, just like
Yeah.
anything else. This is just general tech caution where someone just goes, hey, like the consequences are pretty severe. Just so y'all are aware, by the way, please be cautious.
Be careful.
But you know, like we live in a time where people have to type things in the most alarming and jarring ways possible. So this is me rolling my eyes into the heavens. But y'all just be careful on the stuff that you click
Yeah.
on. Two-factor
Mhm.
your things. Pay attention to your
careful.
things. Don't open things for people that you don't know, don't trust, and don't have people that can vouch for them.
That, all of this. Be careful. In short, be careful.
I need to commission
this is,
somebody to make a
like-
Tech Talk Commandments T-shirt.
Like this is just like honest to goodness. This is the same kind of nonsense that we talk about that we've been dealing with since like AIM was a thing, since MSN Messenger was a thing, since Yahoo Messenger was a thing. Like these have been persistent issues for the last 30 years. Behave yourselves on the internet. Don't do anything that you wouldn't let your grandma do.
That.
Believe it or not, it's time for gaming news.
Child, okay, let's do this.
Coca-Cola temporarily cans. Oh,
Oh,
wow,
Lord.
really? I'm really mad they wrote that. Coca-Cola temporarily cans Overwatch League. So, damn it.
Oh my gosh, that was perfect.
It
Yep,
was.
They saw an
It is.
opportunity.
I didn't notice
What-
it until
what-
just
is it
now.
pulling in
They
on
saw
something?
an
Here's the-
opportunity and they
Is it-
seized it.
Is it mango? Is it I want to know what flavor. Is it cherry? Is it mango?
I would like to know.
Yes, all right, let me get through. Coca-Cola temporarily cans Overwatch League support amid discrimination lawsuit.
Remember that thing I said earlier about people just throwing away bags of money behind nonsense? It's this stuff.
Oh, surprisingly enough, people don't want to be associated with a
Well-
company with bad practices. Who knows?
P.S. Not like the secondary option that y'all got to decide. Shout out to the people who live in New York at this moment. Y'all are having a good week.
Yes. Granted, he gave himself a 2-week notice.
He did. Once again, women having to clean up. Because I was watching the thing on Rachel Maddow about this, and then it was like, once again, women having to come in after their horrible male counterparts, throwing everything to the wind. Just being gross and nasty and doing everything on emails, and I'm like, not a good look.
So yeah, let's see. American insurance giant. Sorry, this is coming from Eurogamer, so of course everything has a European slant to this. State Farm also pulls support along with T-Mobile, and I want to say, I think I was listening to I think it was a podcast I was listening to the other day, where esport players that came out for a competition had to tape over the T-Mobile logo on their jerseys.
Oh Lord.
Mm-hmm. God, I'm gonna have to call you back.
Oh, that thought. I'm gonna have to call you back.
Let's see. So yeah,
Jeez.
I'm sorry. I was reading what Tycho said about Rachel Maddow, and
Oh yeah, everybody was all like, "Ooh, call me, ooh, Cuomo," and then it was like, "Oh, so that's why you can't stand for everybody." But yes, continue.
That's basically where we
he
are.
was-
And
he
at
was-
the
he
very
was
least,
great.
what I can say is
He
I
was-
appreciate the fact that some people were just like, "Oop, you know something?
Yeah,
We got some
he was-
information that might make us have to reevaluate, so
Yeah.
we will. You can
was,
go."
Yep.
he was great when
He
he was
was-
telling me what day it was.
He was great. I'm always like, he was great until he wasn't.
Yeah.
And now he's not. So so I've learned that.
Look, during the
Like,
pandemic, he let me know what day it was, and that was a good day. Today is Saturday. Thank you, Cuomo.
Whew, my lord.
So yeah, no Coca-Cola, no State Farm, no T-Mobile, and I'm pretty sure more are to follow in the days.
Although, you know something, I swear,
Yeah.
this is what I mean by companies dropping bags and things. Like, how Blizzard, you got sued by the state of California. You got sued by your investors, and now Coca-Cola's like,
Okay, wait, hold on, let's stop here because I've been hearing this so many different ways, and it's really confusing.
what?
Is it Blizzard specifically? Is it Activision Blizzard? Is it Activision Blizzard King? Who the fuck is actually in trouble here?
The whole shebang.
Can we? So then, like, because I really feel it's unfair to exclude the other companies. Because everybody keeps saying Blizzard.
It's Activision Blizzard.
It's Activision Blizzard.
Put disrespect on the whole fucking name.
I mean, listen, at this point,
mean-
as far as I'm concerned, you already know, like, these companies can catch all the disrespect from me at all hours of the day. We have that around the clock at all hours, every single day of the year.
Right.
Twice on leap years, 3 times on Black History Month and Pride Month, respectively. That being said, it's Activision Blizzard for your notes.
Yeah, it's Activision Blizzard. It's the whole shebang. They roll together. They go together.
Don't do it. No. I will not let you finish that. You will not
Finish it,
ruin.
Kevin.
No, you will not ruin Bad Boys. Fuck you. Fuck everything you stand on. Fuck you. Do not finish that statement.
And fuck everybody who has anything bad to say about Mike Lowry. You're supposed to finish the rest of that quote, sir.
No. You will not tarnish. You will not tarnish that movie. Those 2 men do not.
Damn.
As far as I'm concerned, they're the 2 honest cops on the fucking planet.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do it. Do not do it.
Best Miami cops since
Best
since
cops
Tubbs
ever.
and Crockett.
Best cops fucking ever. Anywhere, any location, the best cops.
That shit that Sin just took. I'm so weak.
I will not.
It'd be like I said, the line must be drawn here. This far no further.
I will not let him do that.
Oh my gosh.
To think you almost missed this, Naka. You almost missed this.
Now you're enjoying yourself now. Mm.
Yo.
Oh boy.
Okay. All right.
Child,
yeah.
let me go look at this one clip real quick.
Activision Blizzard is losing the bags. Losing all the bags.
All of the bags.
I just want to say I'm glad my camera not on y'all because I'm falling out this chair.
Oh, like I haven't already? I mean, was it turned on his microphone? Is his little megaphone?
I'm so weak. I got one eye open.
All right. In more Steam Deck news, the Switch you love to love.
Can't wait.
Steam Deck API, or Valve is creating a Steam Deck API for devs to quickly optimize their games. That way, all you need to do is plug in the API, and it's like, all right, we're going to choose the optimized settings for this game so that we can make sure it will play on this device, and you don't have to tell people, hey, what settings they need to get it to run. You gotta love it when they make it quick, easy, and fucking simple.
As it should be.
Shout out to Gabe and.
They literally developed a port button.
Mm-hmm.
Like, port to Steam Deck. All right, cool, we did it.
Gabe been out here doing. Gabe been out here doing the Lord's work. I appreciate that.
Hallelujah.
Like every day, every news story I see about the Steam Deck, it's like, damn, I should have pre-ordered one. Fuck.
I would, but the way my checking and my savings is set up, I don't know.
Like, I had to refinance a personal loan the other day.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm a little flush.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, enjoy it for you. I wish I could. Maybe. I mean, look, Ruin and I are part of that 3080 club, so I'm still enjoying that. So Google considered buying Epic when they were clashing over Fortnite a few years ago.
Yeah, Google can't afford it now.
So this was back when Epic wanted to not pay Google 30% by being a part of the Google Play Store. So unlike Apple, there was like, you know what? We can get people to sideload this app and just circumvent the whole process, the whole process. And Google was like, well, fuck it. If we can't get them to play by our rules, we can just fucking buy them. That solves the problem.
Sundar was like, what we got in the petty cash? We have enough?
Look, Ruin says that this sounds like the most Google thing ever.
Yes.
When I read this article, I was like, that sounds like something I would do. I have this problem. How much money? Okay, bet.
How many dump trucks full of money can I throw at it to make the problem go away?
Exactly. Like that sounds like a me solution to this problem. But yeah, apparently they did not do that. They Epic folded. They got up when they joined the Google Play Store, along with the Apple App Store, and now we're here at this current situation. Now, and I'd say I don't think Epic was ever going to let that happen. No. Epic was not going to let that happen. Because I don't know. Maybe Stadia would have been better if they owned the Unreal Engine. Maybe if the only place to play Fortnite was on Google Stadia, would Stadia be good?
No.
The shade.
Speaking of cloud gaming, Xbox Cloud Gaming launches in beta form on PC for Game Pass Ultimate members.
So Xbox Stadia, is that what you said?
I mean, that's kind of what it's always been, but kind of better, kind of not. I still prefer Stadia's technology over xCloud. But essentially what this is you can use the Xbox client on your PC to play the games on the cloud, as opposed to going through a browser. So for those who that interests you, hey, there you go. play games in the Xbox app as opposed to a browser, which is great. I think it's better. And I wonder, you know what? I need to try it because I wonder if that fixes a latency issue that I was having with browsers. I did not like playing Forza on a browser. It was horrible. And more good news from Microsoft. Microsoft contributes to the USC Games Lawson Fund for Black and Indigenous students.
Okay. You know something? Okay.
Like that.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
I like that.
We reported on this earlier. Who was it that started this? It wasn't Rock. It was another game studio or publisher that was starting this with USC, but I can't remember who it was. But shout out to Microsoft putting more money into it. Trying to see what it is that they are.
Wait, what are you trying to find out?
One, I was trying to figure out who. There was a game studio or publisher that initially set this up with USC, but I can't find it.
What, Take-Two Interactive?
That's who I had. Like Rockstar was in my brain, but it was their parent, Take-Two. Thank you.
Got you.
Matt Booty, the head of Xbox Game Studios at Microsoft, said in a statement, yes, Matt Booty.
Mr. Booty, I presume.
Mr. Booty.
Yes, we have like a venti chocolate mocha for M Booty.
Mm-hmm. Booty, party of two. Booty, party of two.
I'm sorry.
Here comes
Wait,
Christopher
what?
Maloney.
What's going on?
You said booty party of two, right?
Uh-huh.
Why are we talking about booty? Wait a minute.
Matt Booty,
Oh Lord.
the head of
Oh,
Xbox Game Studios.
Oh.
Come on, Team Xbox,
Mhm.
Master Race.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. I gotta-
Like, how you not know?
I fell asleep.
Anywho,
You
Matt
know
Booty-
something? If all I'm gonna say is this: if I could start snoring, where you like turning her volume up quietly.
I'll turn the music down, turn the snoring up. Yo, turn the snore up in my headphones.
Oh no.
Matt Booty, the head of Xbox Game Studios at Microsoft, said in a statement that the company is proud to work with the USC Games to empower underrepresented communities succeed in games, and he is excited to see what the future generation of game creators will make. I'm trying to see if doesn't seem like it's putting out there like how much they're investing, what exactly they're doing, but apparently they are making a financial contribution, however much that is.
I feel like being shady over here, just being like, how much are they contributing? Enough to say that we should be grateful for it, but not enough for it to actually be impactful for these people. But that's probably being very unnecessarily cynical. It's a good thing.
Well, I'm glad they actually found some younger pictures of him too. This is or more than just the one we always see. Like more than this one
Of what?
of Gerald Lawson.
For those of y'all who do not know who Gerald Lawson is, and if you are a gamer, I know that you should, and if you are a black person who's a gamer, you definitely should. He pioneered all of our cartridge-based systems. So before there was a Nintendo, there was Gerald Lawson.
And the Fairchild Channel F.
Mm-hmm.
She ain't Desley. We can see you.
Anka, just go downstairs and get a Capri Sun.
Oh, I wish I had one. Yeah. I have.
But speaking of acquisitions, where Google failed, Unity did not. Unity will acquire streaming tech firm Parsec damn, what are numbers? $320 million.
That is a lot less than I thought it would be. Anyway, do y'all know what? For those of us who are at home, and for those of us who are here, Anka, does anybody happen to know what Parsec is?
I do. I know what Parsec is.
I used it once. I think.
So, for those of you who may not be aware, Parsec for the plebes is a service that allows you to remote connect for streaming, for like streaming purposes for games, and also for sharing like computer controls. So if you've ever used things like LogMeIn or TeamViewer or things like that that are remote access applications, Parsec also does those things.
Yes, I used it to play a Kirby game one time.
But like it's also one of those things like, hey, I want to play a game with Major on this emulator, but Major doesn't have that game. That's cool. I just put that into Parsec, and then we can all like play like 4-player games like Streets of Rage or Mario Kart or whatever else.
Or shout out to Proto Okami, who introduced me to Parsec, so I could play an actual fucking Dreamcast from my house.
Mm-hmm.
I played, or was it a Dreamcast? I don't remember. I played an actual console at his house from my house using this. And like I was amazed. And like we were playing a fighting game. He is a really good fighter. But I was amazed at how well I was able to hold my own over the fucking internet while he's playing locally on that console. I was impressed. It's like Parsec is the future. Parsec is the future. So now I keep it installed on my computer. I don't know when I'll ever use it again, but it's always installed because he sold me on Parsec. Yeah, good for Unity. To get Parsec. So I wonder now if they're gonna offer like game streaming services with any developers who may make games with Unity. Or actually, no, it seems like they're using it for development tools. This transaction is an important step towards Parsec's and Unity's expanded cloud vision that creators should expect to be able to work from any location on any device through rich and powerful tools and seamless cloud infrastructure to deliver the real-time 3D experiences of the future. So you won't see it for games, like you're not going to be able to play games through. It's not like it's enabling Unity games to be played through Parsec, but allowing developers who are building games in Unity to be able to work from anywhere, connect to a computer, and be able to work on those games from anywhere. So yeah, shout out to Parsec, shout out to Unity. Unity expects the acquisition to become final during its third quarter. So yeah, seems to be right around the corner. All right, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Because it's time for streaming.
Yeah.
Twitch streamers will now get more insight into their suspensions.
Mm.
Twitch will remain vague about what they got suspended for, but at least it'll show the streamer what stream or VOD caught the hands.
And I'm gonna need you to share some of this because
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Monkey, you good?
I need a
Alka's out
drink.
here. Alka's out here coughing like her name is Mildred.
Well,
Well,
so you said
well.
share this because
Y'all,
Mm. Mm.
can I just say, if you're going to send people the offending clip that got them suspended or whatever, why don't you just tell them how it violates your guidelines? Like, just tell people. Just tell people. Like,
Yep.
wait, why? Like, what do we need this nebulous confusion for? And then I'm like, there are only two reasons I can think of for this, which is either one, this wasn't thought out, or two, this is insidious and actually evil because you want to be able to not have someone corner you and say, well, if you did this for this person, you should apply those rules across the board for everyone who violates these things. Why aren't you doing that?
Maintain the same energy.
Child, not you telling us to hold you accountable in 2019 and then doing this in 2021.
After just months of silence.
Dry.
Very dry. Very.
Devoid of moisture.
Parched.
And it's for no reason. Why be obscure about it? Like, you're the whole company, you're the whole platform. Say with your whole chest, we're okay with this, we're not okay with this, and let that be that.
Yeah.
Like, are you worried that, like, what are you afraid that we're going to tell you that you have to apply these things to like your larger partner streamers too? Is that the concern? Like, just say that.
Yep. Be real and be transparent.
well, it's a step. It's a step.
And you know,
but
this is me sitting here and looking at this because weren't they the same people who, oh yes, allow me to unfurl the receipt in January of 2020? Weren't these the same people from, like, you know, from the trust and safety department who are like, I don't know why y'all treat our efforts like they're a meme?
I mean, didn't y'all remember when they gathered all them streamers together and had a conversation? People that we know, people we knew, had the conversation, chit chatted, gave the 10-cent tour. It was like heard their input,
chopped it up and shot the breeze. Sure did.
Yep, chopped it up with the people, sat down, had a discussion, an open dialogue, picked their brains, and then did jack shit for the remainder. So, yeah, like, oof. Because I don't know if this is going to be the article that talks about it, but definitely the art.
Oh, it's about to be.
Oh, it's about to be? Okay.
yeah.
I'll wait for that article. But yes. Ooh.
So yeah, this article came out. It seemed like it was planned before all this weird shit was happening. But yeah, the tweets came out less than 24 hours before hate rating floods started taking over marginalized streamers' channels.
Oh man, this part.
My favorite part is that we got so annoyed with it that we started hashtagging Twitch do better, got it trending, and they took that same hashtag, and this is what the hate bots are using now.
Right. so that yeah, having my like stream team captain to tell us, hey yo, don't use that because they'll use that as a target.
Oh, and also in that, you remember the thing we were talking about with Discord earlier? On that same note, we have a whole bunch of bots now that are picking weird names that if you click on them, like, do like malware shenanigans.
They copy your IP. So now you have to like almost like you're in like MS DOS and have to like backslash ban space the name or just copy paste it and just do that, as opposed to not having to click on it and doing the whole ban thing. You have to actually have to type it out to ban someone, and it's a mess. And so I'm gonna tell you what happened. I'm gonna tell you what happened today, because I've pretty much told everybody. Told Major, told Sin. I'm gonna tell you what happened to me in a bit of great details. Since all this hate rating stuff has happened, I've turned my chat to followers chat for like 10 minutes, and then for when I do like the chill streams, I turn it up to about like a day, just to kind of get people, give me an opportunity to fight a possible hate raid if a hate raid actually does show up. Now, I was playing the wonderful Great Garden Story, wonderful game by the Grape Warrior. Cute, awesome, beautiful, wonderful game. And I got raided by somebody that didn't know. And I was scared. And I was like, oh my god, I'm being raided. And then of course, what happens to the raid? People add you. They follow you. Because that's what's customary to a raid. Somebody comes in, they raid, they follow the people that are raided. This is what happens. But I was so like, oh my god, what's happening? I was so much caught in fear. But then I started to slowly realize, like, maybe this isn't a real hate raid. Maybe this is just a regular raid. I was so scared of a raid. I couldn't even celebrate that fact. That's what we are now.
And we need to point out here, these are the kind of things that the platform encourages you to do, or that you want to have happen to you, is that people bring their whole communities over to you.
Right.
And we can't even celebrate those moments, because now we have to worry about if you have to deal with like some nonsense clownery.
Right.
When people come over there. And it's just like, y'all, I just wanted to play Garden Story and chill and enjoy the surprise of someone bringing their community to my house. But now I'm sitting here like, is this going to be the day that I get hate rated?
Right. And that's what I was saying. And that's what I was in fear about. Turns out it was this morning show, kind of like what we do. They were a morning show, and their community was like, hey, they were talking to one of the people that is the community manager for the game company that makes this game. And so they were like, oh, let's randomly pick a person who's playing this game, and they picked me. And I was just like, I was frantic, I was scared, I was like tearing up. And then it was just kind of like, oh, and then they waited the 10 minutes, and then they were like, hey, just want to let you know we were raiding you. Yeah, we understand. That we totally understand. We understand you and your safety, and I apologized. And they were like, it's so cool. Don't apologize. But that's kind of what we are now. Like,
it's where also right alongside with what Kevin was saying over here. I'm out here, a mod, right? I'm about to do my thing for streaming on Tuesday, and I get a message from one of the channels that I mod for that are just kind of like, oh, we heard that it's racist o'clock out here. So, we have to be prepared just in case. So it's like, we can't, this is someone who was streaming for their birthday because that's something that they wanted to do because they thought it would be fun. And it's like, now it's just panic.
Mm-hmm. It's like, it's absolutely panic. And I'm just like, I can't stop streaming because that's what the enemy wants.
Yep.
The enemy wants it to be so uncomfortable for marginalized streamers that we just leave the platform. And I just you know what? I'm just gonna have my emo button. I'm just gonna keep my follower chat going. I'm just gonna be have my commander route set up, but be a buck with you, I'm not leaving. I'm not
I
leaving
don't
the
trust
platform.
Commander Root. I just don't.
I mean, but that's what we got.
Like, I don't know enough about it. Like, I blocked that account too.
Yeah, I mean that's
But
what we had.
this was like maybe a year or so ago.
Yeah, but this is what we have because
Yeah.
heaven forbid the platform doesn't have it. So now people have to rely on like third party APIs to do something that the platform should be doing.
And it's wild that every time something like this happens and we have these conversations, it always comes back to the exact same point. Here are some tools that we have. Here are bots that you can use. Here are steps that you can take. Here's what the commands can do. You can do all of these different things. And, like, bless the people who took the time to put together those resources. I appreciate them for educating us on all the different things that we can do to kind of take some level of action against these things. But it completely misses the main frustration of the whole situation, which is the fact that I have to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The fact
Twitch
I have to
could do something about this,
right?
Like, just
and they haven't.
Just to be open and honest too. Like, you saw that the screen kind of went away for a second. Yeah, I was checking through my phone. Noticed I had a follower. No alerts show up because I turned it off just in case. And yeah, that user finally just got removed. Ran their name through Twitter searches, and sure enough, there was another one that followed me today. That followed as soon as I went live that I didn't notice because I wasn't alerted to it. Made sure I removed them too. Yeah, so it was yesterday it was fragilities that followed me. Today it was hold on, I got the name here. It is Gathers.
Mm-hmm.
So they out here.
And as you're saying that, I'm checking. I know other people are checking.
And I saw that not just like looking at this, and I can see because I'm looking at this chat through IRC that they were here and they just left.
Mm-hmm. Because because it's like, oh, like think chat's on. Let's not. Like, oh, followers chat. Oh, that's discouraging. Let's not.
Imagine just having to spend all this time checking all these things and double checking all these things and like triple clicking and verifying and all of these other roundabout ways that you have of dealing with stuff. And it's just like, y'all have the blueprint and you know exactly what the people are asking you to do. I need you to either do them or just don't do them and take the consequences, which is we're going to drag y'all until you do better, because that's because that's what we have to do for our own sake and safety. People are out here that look like me, Kevin, Major, or Anka going, hey friends, do any of you have free time to come and mod for this day or this day or this day in case something happens?
Mm-hmm.
How many iterations of everything that we hate people calling us are we running through to make sure that people don't come in here and get banned for saying the word nice, but actually get banned for saying the N-word in any form? Like, it's just it's the list of all of these things that we're just expected to just do and carry, and people just don't think about, well, why don't you just do this? Or why don't you just do this? Why should I be doing any of it? Y'all literally should just not have hateful people on your platform who have access to me.
And and the thing is, like, Tycho is bringing up a good point. Like, a lot of them get mass created, and like looking at like December 2020, a ton of them had gotten created. I stumbled upon that like just randomly when I was learning how to do API calls, and I was running them against Twitch like years ago. And if somebody like me who is just poking through an API can find that shit, how is it that engineers aren't noticing that massive amounts of accounts are being created on their platform and are not fucking removing them? Like, I was like, that's at any point working for any company in any IT department, if a massive amount of accounts just showed up out of the fucking blue, red flag.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Tycho, I'm always looking at him. I'm almost. I mean, I like looking at them on Thursdays because they're bigger on Thursdays than they are any other day. But yeah, like now I have to do that for another reason, and I don't like that at all.
Mm-mm. It's like I'm like, what part is the lurker, and one part is just like just bots and whatnot. And I'm just like, I don't even know. I don't even know anymore.
I used to block bots.
Yeah, I'm just like,
but then it just I don't. It's whatever.
Yeah, I'm just like, just
like the fact that emote chat was made to be cute, but now you have to use it as a moderation tool.
It's a defense weapon now. It's a defense.
You can't ban them quick enough, so you have to stop them from talking.
Right.
I have never had to turn on follower chat. I don't like having to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a thing I have to do now.
I have to do it now. Like when the day I realized I had to turn on follower chat, like I was doing just chatting, and then I had like 3 trolls pop up, and I was like, put this on. I put it on, and then it was just like, well, this is what we're going to, and then the hate raid started up, and then that's where I was like, I'm going to have to keep this, and I'm just going to have to be like, yo, I'm sorry, I apologize, but follower mode is going to stay on until the platform gives me the tools I need to protect myself, to where I can start raising the portcullis, pulling down the drawbridge, take the archers off the walls, because that's what I got to do now. That's what I have to do now. And then when it's like just chatting, I have to increase it. Like I have to increase it.
Like it's the way that you also have there's like a whole thing where you spend so much time with like your friends or other people in the space that you care about, thinking less about the future. How do we want to grow? How do we want to expand? What do we want to do with our content or anything else? Mm-hmm. You're spending all that time talking about just how to avoid being in danger on this platform.
Mm-hmm. How do I not get doxxed? How do I not get harassed? How do I protect me and my people? How do I protect folks from acting like, how do I protect folks in my Discord? That's why my Discord is small, because it's like, I just basically allowed those who want to come in, and we've closed the gates. And, if somebody wants to come in that I know and is vetted, and I've had conversations with, they can come in. But really, like, my Discord is just a repository of stuff,
Well, I mean, there was a thing where, like, I had a Discord and stuff. I streamed for at least a year and a half, almost 2, before I ever made, like, the link to my Discord a public thing. And even then, you have to have, like, a particular, you have to know a particular command to be able to use it, and it's something that only moderators or admins can use. So people can't even accidentally look it up or search for it. And I'm like, I hate it.
Mm-hmm. I had to strengthen it to the point where it was like, okay, nobody with verified users. Everybody has to have a phone number to the account to do it, because it's like, and it's way more protection for my server.
Yeah,
it's way too much. It's like way too much.
I think
it's like 20 people there.
I think I require 2-factor authentication.
Yeah, I think I did that too.
Like,
I think I might have went to the hell.
There's no reason for me, but I did it anyway.
Right. It should just be like, hey, you can't talk. You can't, like, hey, you got to have at least a good account. Like, you should have a verified account. I.e., you click the link on your email and it's verified. That should be the extent of that. But now I've got it like locked down, like I'm a Discord partner's Discord, like I'm like two and 4K deep, like I'm a big homie streamer, and I'm like, I'm not even close to that, and I'm like, I have to guard it with all the protections.
Like every single server I'm on, and most of them obviously are from marginalized people, every single one of them has something where you can't even talk in the server unless you either acknowledge rules or unless someone gives you a particular role that you're not able to give yourself. So a mod has to get involved so people can like verify you and things, that you can't come in and say anything or do anything, type anything, or even read anything until we've had the time to establish some of this stuff, because just the nonsense happens. Ruin, they just want you to know that they're listening and that they hear us and they're doing the things that they can to limit this as much as possible.
Yeah, here we go.
And they by all means want to be held accountable to doing better for their creators.
And they'll be getting that, and they'll be getting some of those much needed tools later this year. You know, I don't know. We don't know exactly when later this year, but later this year. Meanwhile, the hits just keep on coming. And yeah. And I pretty much quote tweeted it like they needed it like later this year, they needed it 4 years ago. To keep it a band in the buck, because once you know who just kind of like accelerated all this. It was still bad. It was bad, but not to this degree.
But he made it, you know, okay to be a problematic person.
Yeah, it was like, oh, I can be. I like to say it's
my president,
but also,
bigot.
Yeah, but also to keep it a band in the buck. It's not the people. It's not just the people from the Caucasus Mountains. There's some skin folk too. To keep it a buck with you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I say. Like, that's why I say skin folk.
Ain't kin folk.
Ain't kin folk. Put that on the pillow. Uncle, you good?
You want to play some Naraka Blade Point?
Oh, Uncle's music.
Oh, they didn't want to get caught in 4K snoring.
No. Let's move on from that. NVIDIA's new GPU driver primes your PC for Naraka Blade Point, which came out today, if I'm not mistaken. And Back for Blood, the open beta coming out, or I think it's out now. Anka slept and I wept. Also adds more than half a dozen G-Sync compatible displays to the mix. I swear I want to update my monitor so bad. I keep getting shit on by Richard Ledbetter for having a 30 series graphics card and a 1080p display.
Shame on you.
I know. It's a shame on me. I should have already had it. I'm a disappointment to the PC community for having this 1080p monitor.
Or at least have high refresh.
I do have that though.
Okay.
I do. It is a 1080p 144 hertz.
Okay. I think just let Richard know that. I think he'll go easy.
Still no good.
Oh.
No good. I am behind the curve.
Oof.
Because they were already like when I bought the 1080p 144 hertz, they were already like 1440p 144 hertz. Like I bought my monitor at a discount because I don't need more than 1080.
Someone reminded, like going back an article, someone reminded me of something that was really important. The last time we were talking about the subject of hate botting, they made a safety council of like different Twitch creators who, for the most part, were partners. I don't know that they've been utilized at all.
They haven't. I feel that deep down in my spirit, they haven't.
Deep down low.
Down in my soul.
Yeah. So yeah, Ruin Naraka Blade Point. Yeah, what Young and Tycho said. It's a battle royale with fighting mechanics in it.
Mm-hmm.
It looked pretty cool. It's from a Chinese studio. It looks pretty cool. I debated trying it out. I still might. I might look into it. More updates. Mac OS 11.5.2 is out with some bug fixes. So for those rocking the Macs, update your shit. And free games coming soon to a Game Pass near you. Tech Talk Thursdays favorite benchmarking tool will be on Game Pass. That's right, Stardew Valley showing up on PC and Xbox consoles this fall.
Now y'all got no excuse. Go play that. You got no excuse now. Go play it. No excuse. Go play it.
Yes, this is the benchmark. Stardew Valley is the benchmark.
It's the benchmark.
Origami 2, which launches on the service September 17th. Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous on September 2nd. Paparazzi is coming soon. And Evil Geniuses 2. Console versions are due for release in Q4 of this year and will be available on Game Pass at launch.
Yeah, I definitely love Evil Geniuses 2. Have not played as much as I really should have, but man, the amount of times I played that game is really good. Gives you ability to have an evil lair and minions and of course henchmen. Of course, my particular favorite is I think it's Larry Barracuda Jr., who's pretty much a combination of Frozone and Sam Jackson, which is funny because they're all the same person, but but that's just how awesome the character is. It's like
Where is my
just a cool dude, yeah. So, but yeah, I really do like that game, and I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed playing as much as I have. So, yeah.
Whew, jeez. Well, we made it to the end.
Yeah, we did. Some of us did.
It's not about the journey. It's not about the destination. It's about the journey and the friends you make along the way.
Indeed.
I would like to amend that phrase. But it's absolutely about the naps you take along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Saying with the big brain.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, look, Anka has been working very, very hard as of late.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah. We this is all jokes.
Any time we get.
This is all jokes. We love Anka, and we definitely would want her to rest, but you know we always gonna bust her though. we love her, and we definitely want her to get all her rest. So yeah.
So yeah. With that being said, Anka, what you got going on this week?
Y'all so messy. I'm gonna go get a Capri Sun now.
Messy. Oh. You know Anka is resting.
Yo, Kev, what you got going on this week?
Well, I know at some point I've been, you know, I couldn't do it last week or this past week because the community didn't vote on it, but I'm just gonna have to say like, yo, I'm just gonna take time out and on maybe like Tuesday or so, and play lawn mower simulator. which I don't know if I might do it this week because I might actually have to do some actual mowing. So I don't know if I want to do two of the same thing. But one day I'm definitely gonna get me some lawnmower simulator in. Probably more Garden Story. Ooh, Hades is next week. Ooh,
Who?
Hades is next
Oh,
week.
Hades.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, Hades is
Hades.
next week. So I might definitely put some time in on Hades.
That is also on Game Pass.
That's also on Game Pass. Yeah. So gonna be playing as Zagreus. Living my best Son of Hades life. Let's go.
Zip, zip,
And
zoom.
zip zoom, zip zip. And what else?
Look, speaking of other things that are on Game Pass that are isometric, The Ascent.
The Ascent.
I played a little bit of that this past week,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of want to play more of it.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Yep.
I was playing with the mouse and keyboard, and it's like, okay, this game is kind of not great until I learned that it's a twin stick shooter.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, that's the part I was doing wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Also I see Boyfriend Dungeon is also in Game Pass.
What?
So
Oh, that's right, it is.
yeah, if you've ever been like it's a dating game, but you date your weapon. Boyfriend Dungeon.
Like, I feel like there are things I need to do this weekend. Like, I feel like there's something happening this weekend. But yeah, I was planning on sitting in. Yeah, I'll get to that. I'm jumping ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's cool. So probably be next week will probably be a combination of I don't know, probably more Rise. I've hooked up with the homie Rock. We've been doing Rise. We've been doing like Monster Hunter Rise, so that was fun. Helped him get through his like last end game quests, and then we like farmed for the Amaterasu Palamute skin. Who, if you've ever seen it, it looks absolutely wonderful. And when you ride on the back of your Palamute with the Amaterasu skin, it actually like leaves and flowers like waft from behind it, and it's just like in Okami. So it's a wonderful. That's a wonderful thing. So probably gonna be doing some more. Probably gonna be doing some monster hunts with old Mahomie Rock. Probably more Garden Story. Definitely more Dodgeball Academia. Yard work, which I hate with a passion, but it's gotten to the point now where my yard is looking like we just started a game of Jumanji. So I need to take at least the initiative to at least trim it back to it doesn't look as bad, but we'll see how that goes. The way my sinuses be set up, we'll see how that goes. Yeah, still doing the whole like prepping for the reinstallation. So got the notebook, gonna be jotting down some notes, putting down some checklists. Also, the new storage is coming in tomorrow for the spillover drive, and gonna start backing up stuff.
What are we rocking?
Oh, we got 2 terabytes.
2 terabytes
of Seagates. Seagate.
It's
external.
External.
No, internal.
Oh.
It's I have a like docking station where I can just drop internals on it.
Oh, you got one of those adapters. I got one of those at work.
Yeah, so I got that. So that's basically gonna just be like a bare drive where I can just like plug it in there, that offload stuff onto, and then when it's time to do the reformat, we just unplug all the drives. We just unplug all the storage drives just to make sure, and then yeah.
Did you know that is actually a requirement now to reinstall Windows 10?
Unplug your other drives.
Yes.
Yeah,
I did not
heard
know
that.
that. I did not know that, and I was pissed.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, yo, let me go ahead and make a checklist and add that to the checklist.
So like yeah, so with that, it's like apparently it writes the MBR or the master boot record to
Yeah.
another drive that you do not
Right.
boot to. It's like, write it on the drive I am installing Windows on. What the fuck are we doing?
Right. So that was something I had a thought of, and I'm like, wait a minute. I feel like that's some shit that's gonna happen.
I
I'm gonna have to
just unplug them because I was afraid it was gonna overwrite. Like it was just gonna delete the data. But yeah, like, and the weird thing is, it's like I did not unplug all the drives.
Mm-hmm.
There were 2 drives that were still plugged in because they were behind my graphics card, so I didn't see them.
Right.
And there was another. It was not a. No, there are actually. I forgot. I have 2 NVMe's in here now. I left the second NVMe in there,
Mm-hmm.
and it worked that time. So I don't know what it was about the drives I had plugged in that I unplugged. But yeah, Windows is fucking weird, and I hate it.
Yeah. So that's gonna be definitely something I'm gonna add on the list. What else? What else? I think that's pretty much it. That's the one cool thing about having the dock one is you can basically just switch it on, switch it off. And so I'll just remember to just switch it off, and then we won't have any issues. What else? I think that's about it. Yeah, staying home and staying vaccinated. That's what I'm doing. Staying at the house, and that's it.
This is another reason why I overwrite the MBR with Grub or Refind. Yeah, I would do that too if I still do booted my system. But after I did that once and just I didn't use Fedora enough on my main system to warrant having it dual booted anymore. Sin, what you got going on? I know you have things that are going on because you said you had things going on and you said you would revisit them once we got to this point. So now we're here and it's time to pay up.
I'm asleep.
What?
Okay. More specifically, this weekend we're going to try to take it easy and maybe get some behind the scenes work done. But Monday, I'm going to hopefully be starting like a couple of weeks worth of a little bit of a change here. We're going to try to work through Cuphead on Mondays, and then we're going to try to work through Hollow Knight on Tuesdays. And each of these streams are going to be special because I have friends who will be doing side commentary for each of those games. That being said, Sakal has reminded me that just by their existing and presence, that we have things to do, TM, in terms of making sure that the Dark Aeons get handled. So I'll see how I feel about doing like another stream or two at random and just being like, hey, we're gonna like make some progress and stuff. But that's gonna be all the Mondays and Tuesdays for the rest of the month. And then we got an upcoming tabletop series I'm going to be involved in on Sunday evenings from like 6 to about 9. So that's going to be interesting. Should be fun. And that's about it. That's what's happening.
All right. So Ruin says, I just boot to media, delete my shit with Windows on it, leave my other 3 drives alone, format that empty space, and good to go. That's what I did. That is exactly what I did. And for some fucking reason, it wrote the MBR on another drive. I don't know. I do not get it. I needed Windows back. I did not have time to try to diagnose that shit. So I just unplugged drives, and it just worked after I unplugged it. That's all I got. That's all I got. I don't even know. I just don't even know right now what the deal is. But we're done. We're here with the fresh install of Windows 10. Let's see. I'm off tomorrow. I have a doctor's appointment, so tonight I will probably be up and finishing up work that I could not finish because they had me moving shit out of a fucking lab today, so I wasn't able to do half the work I wanted to do. So there's that. But because I don't have to go to work tomorrow, I can stay up late and not have to worry about waking up on time. Because my wife is working from home tomorrow and she can put my son on the bus. Outside of that, if everything goes according to plan and I don't have anything to do this weekend, I was going to play some games, but what I think I might end up doing is doing some maybe doing a configuration stream, because I need to reconfigure my mixer, which means I have to figure out what I did with the documentation on how to program the APC mixer with voice meter. Wait, hold on. What is it? At least it's better than drinking piss disguised as Dr. Pepper. Who is doing this?
What?
Why?
Who's doing what?
I don't know. Look, Tycho said at least it's better than drinking piss disguised as Dr. Pepper.
Wow.
I have no idea what that's in context. Like, what the context of that is. Oh, apparently it's for you, Sid. That was weird.
Oh, I know exactly what that reference is for. I appreciate you, but also I hate you a little bit. This is really not the time to talk about people and their fetishes for things like water sports.
Oh my! Audio shit all off. Yeah, so I gotta I gotta reconfigure this mixer. It is too critical to my streaming career to not have it working after having used it for like 2 months. So yeah, I need to get that thing fucking fixed now. But yeah, I wanted to try to play some more of the Ascent. I played a little bit of that, and that was kind of fun. I think I may use some Saturday board time and just kind of like, hey, if I just want to sit here and play video games on the weekend when we're not doing anything, like just throw it up on stream and just sit here, chill, play some video games. If people want to come chat, talk about things, hey, we can just do that. It's fine. Maybe I will hook the steering wheel back up and I'll drive my truck again, because I do kind of miss that. It's been whole careers. It is. Without this mixer, I am nothing. I am nothing without my mixer. It's sad. It just sits here with no lights on. It just dead. Just dead to the world. Does nothing. Yeah. Just sliding up and down. Nothing's happening. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. So thank you everybody for tuning in to another oh, I'm sorry. What was that? Anka. Anka. Did you say something, Anka? No. Hello? Okay, just make sure. I thought I heard something. That's it, everybody. Thank you for tuning in once again to another episode of Tech Talk Thursdays for August 12th, 2021. I know this was a long one, but yeah, again, we ain't been here in 2 weeks. We had shit to say, and you're lucky I ain't talk about the PlayStation 5 NVMe problem. I was tempted. I was tempted. You know I love storage. This is another day. We'll talk about when it's officially released. Of course, on behalf of it's your boy Kev in the building, Cinziak, and the Snore.
Wow.
Idiosinaka, the GOAT.
Mm,
No, Ruin, they don't have MV. Well, they have NVMe problems as much as people do not understand what type of NVMe storage they need, and it's
right.
causing great confusion between people who should know better.
Yep.
Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Of course, you all could have been anywhere in the world. You could have been watching the stream in the world. You could have been reading the tech and gaming news yourself, but you decided no. The nap stops here. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. And of course, all I've got left to say to you wonderful people is I love you. Peace. How?
Wakanda forever.